What's up guys, this is your favorite fanfic YouTuber, the Fanfic Majesty, and welcome to another amazing video. You can follow me on Patreon for exclusive stories. 11. Chapter 291. The world is in turmoil. The Revolutionary Army is on the move. Advertisement. The influence of de Rose's extremely bad pirates and theft of the country continued to ferment. The world's major government alliance countries are sensational. Also alarmed are the major forces in the sea, especially the underground dark world. For the entire underground world, the changes suffered by de Rosa and the Don Quixote family were an unprecedented blow. As a major force among pirates, he also has the identity of Shichibukai and the existence of the relationship with the former celestial dragons. Doflamingo eats black and white, and has a huge social network. The title of the largest dark intermediary is naturally not just talk. His downfall has had an unimaginable impact on the world's black trade 29 market. In a war-torn country in South Blue, the king wearing a Chinese robe and sitting high on the throne looked at the newspaper in his hand, trembling unconsciously, but in the end he just sighed helplessly, his expression extremely depressed. Declare your surrender, the king said weakly. Without Doflamingo's follow-up arms support, they have already lost more than half of the war against the Revolutionary Army. Today, they have already run out of ammunition and food, and there is no way to continue. Similar incidents are not unique in the whole world. It happened in the four seas of Southeast, Northwest, including the entire section of the Grand Line. Advertisement. In a certain sea area of New World, where the wind and clouds are surging, a pirate ship is sinking in the big waves. Damn it, D Joker, we have already paid the deposit, but the promised devil fruit is going to be ruined. How can I accept this kind of thing? A pirate captain angrily threw the newspaper in his hand on the deck. By the way, devil fruit, our products must still be in de Rosa now. In this case, we will go and grab what belongs to us. Damn Joker, Lousy's goods are still in his place. The army crocodile in the underground world yelled angrily. The loan that Lousy gave to the clown has not been recovered yet. Who are you going to reason with? The usury King Lufield roared. Don't mention it, Lousy shouldn't trust any intermediary. It really is a black intermediary. Organ trafficker Jigula beat his chest and stamped his feet. A group of big crocodiles from all walks of life in the dark world are currently on emergency phone calls and video conferences, vomiting bitterness. De Rosa is right there. If you have the guts, go and get back your own things, from the hands of that emperor. Queen of the Pleasure District Stussy smiled charmingly. Lufield, Umit, Jigula and other dark crocodiles fell silent in an instant. Joke. Grab something from the current de Rosa. Only fools go. Advertisement. The Revolutionary Army headquarters Baldigo is full of yellow sand. War meeting room. The cadres of the Revolutionary Army headed by the leader of the Revolutionary Army long gathered together. Terry, the intelligence control officer of the Revolutionary Army, distributed the materials to the cadres present. This is de Rosa. There is also Shichibukai Doflamingo's deal with the underground world. I got the Don Quixote family branch bases all over North Blue. Bello Betty, commander of the Eastern Army, Lindbergh of the Southern Army, and other cadres all stared wide-eyed. Hee-haw, it seems that our Chief of Staff 420 has become very active again. Dragon, you let Sabo and Koala act with that one, it really is the right choice. Ivankov, the veteran of the Revolutionary Army with a huge face, made a golden rooster independent movement. Great, the downfall of Doflamingo, and these materials, are of great help to our revolutionary actions. Confederate Commander Lindbergh clapped his hands excitedly. Dragon, regarding the North Blue base of the Don Quixote family, are we going to? Karas, the commander of the Northern Army, seemed to have thought of something. That's right, we're going to occupy these unclaimed lands before anyone else, at least get all the trading weapons stored in them. Let's start acting, gentlemen. The leader Long said calmly and firmly. Advertisement Chapter 292, One Piece Roger lands on Wano-Kuni. Advertisement. New World. Banquet Island No. 99. A large dragon-headed ship moored quietly. Ship name, Red Force. Affiliated with New World 4 Emperor's Red Hair Pirates. Boss. Little Fatty Lazyru suddenly shouted excitedly. There's news. There's news. Deputy Chi is now in de Rosa. Newcomer Lock Star yells for reports. This time, Deputy Chi seems to have made another big news. Usopp was amazed. You actually put Shichibukai Doflamingo in one pot, and now the underground world is going to be in chaos. Brother Long Wen was amazed. Ahahaha, this is the style of our deputy captain. Redhead Shanks smiled. What do you say, boss, shall we go to de Rosa to meet Deputy Chi? Fatty Raziru asked. Quote. 4 Emperors. Redhead Shanks shook his head. According to Chi Yu's personality, I will definitely not miss that stage next time. New World, Sphinx. The huge whale ship Moby DK is at anchor quietly. Daddy, it's starting to mess up again. This time it's that B*** D Doflamingo who gets caught. A Shichibukai got F*** ed by him. This is good, New World is going to be messed up. That Doflamingo is not only Shichibukai, but also the biggest dark agent in the underground world. Marco, the captain of the first team, Diamond Josie of the third team, Foil Beasta of the fifth team. All the captains of the Whitebeard pirate team were amazed. Cool la. Advertisement. Whitebeard laughed out loud. Summit War. Under the powerful effect of Chi-Yu's little fairy bean. Whitebeard lived to die. Now it is already at the real peak. Little ones, don't worry about Doflamingo's matter, there are more important things before us right now. Whitebeard spoke in a low voice. The huge whale ship Moby DK was stuck. It's finally time to start. Awaken. Kaido. Odin must be given justice this time. The captains headed by Marco were all excited. They have only experienced the Summit War, and it is not a wise choice for them to take the initiative to declare war on the Emperor of the Sea. But this time they are not alone. A powerful ally has landed in Wano Kuni before them. There's that man at the vanguard, plus Whitebeard in his prime. This battle, some fight. New world, Wano Kuni, Oni Island. Click. Blinding lightning flashed across the sky. Lights up the spooky Skull Island. Ooh. In the skeleton hall, 4 emperors Kaido of the beasts drank heavily. Crying and laughing, like a madman. Joker, you are really weak. Weakness is a sin in this world. It's just that even if you are weak, you are still my important partner. Without you, where do I get my SMLIE? How do I form my army of 500 capable users? Snapped. Kaido of the beast smashed the wine gourd in his hand to the ground. Advertisement. Mr. Kaido, I'm going to bring Doflamingo back. The 4th leader of Beasts Pirates, Han Jack the Drow stared at his bloodshot eyes and took the initiative to clear his mind. Haha, on the throne, Kaido of the Beasts passed out drunk at some point. As for Jack the Drow's plea, since he didn't hear it, he couldn't answer it. Stop, Jack. It was the second-in-command Yan Huojin who dismissed his request. What you have to do now is to keep an eye on Curry, and absolutely don't let any flies get into Wano Kuni. Yes, Brother Jin. Jack nodded cowardly. This moment. Wano Kuni 9 miles. Carp waterfall mouth. Driven by the carp, a small boat soared into the sky and successfully landed in Wano Kuni. Wano Kuni, it's been a long time. One Piece Roger grinned. The sea moves in all directions. The chain reaction triggered by the downfall of Shichibukai Doflamingo is only now beginning. This moment. De Reese Nazao's Rosa. 2 days. With the unremitting efforts of Liku Wang's family who stayed up all night. The turbulent country gradually returned to stability. No doubt, after knowing what Doflamingo has done to this country. After the heinous crimes committed. After knowing that King Liku was framed 8 years ago. The hearts of the people have returned to the Riku royal family. The aftermath work is still in progress. At the same time. After entrusting everything to Gion, Chi-Yu took Yamato and quietly left De Reese Rosa on Sea Kings. Next destination is Wano Kuni. Advertisement Chapter 293 Crane and Dover. Sengoku and Aokiji. Advertisement. 2 days later. Port of De Reese Rosa. 3 large marine warships slowly entered the port. Sister Crane. Gion smiled sweetly, and rushed forward immediately, hugging the Crane Vice Admiral who was like a sister. Cemetery. Gion felt his back tense. Look back. It happened to meet the resentful gaze of former Marshal Sengoku. Ahaha, Mr. Sengoku is here too. Gion seemed a little embarrassed and made a haha. Gion girl, I grew up watching you too, listen up, no matter where you are, never forget it. Justice in the heart. Sengoku tapped his heart. Yes, Mr. Sengoku, I never forget. Gion nodded seriously. Well, Mr. Sengoku, the liberation of De Reese Rosa this time is thanks to Gion-san. Yeah, thanks to Gion, Doflamingo's plot was exposed 753. And the kids from Punk Hazard last time. On the Vice Admiral Crane ship, the female soldiers who were also sisters with Gion spoke one after another. Even if you know where Gion is now, they didn't have any intention of blaming them. Marshal Marine Sengoku and Crane Vice Admiral, I didn't expect you two to come in person this time, please hurry up. King Liku arrived at the port with Violet and others, and greeted them warmly. Even though I am very dissatisfied with the world government and the Shichibukai system. Advertisement. However, King Riku would not throw his anger on Sengoku and Crane indiscriminately because of this. For these 2 marine veterans who guarded the sea for 2 eras, King Riku always has respect. King Riku is being polite. This time it's our marine's fault. Sengoku and Crane Vice Admiral shook their heads together. JDB. Mr. Sengoku and Crane Vice Admiral, if you want to, I can hand over the remnants of the Don Quixote family with peace of mind. Liku is king. It's time to work. Vice Admiral Crane thanks. Half an hour later, Cyrus brought the Vice Admiral Crane to Wangdu Prison Administration. Cough cough cough. Doflamingo, who was chained and chained, coughed in pain. Crane Vice Admiral followed Cyrus and stood in front of Doflamingo's cell, his old face was calm and deep. Since Doflamingo was still active in North Blue, Vice Admiral Crane has been hunting him down. The wise Vice Admiral Crane can see the potential threat in Doflamingo. If it is not stopped, it will inevitably make this world more and more chaotic in the future. It's just that Rao, with Vice Admiral Crane's resourcefulness, has repeatedly suffered setbacks in arresting Doflamingo. It's almost a step away every time. Relying on the spies placed in the marine, Doflamingo knows everything about Vice Admiral Crane's actions. Only in this way can he pass by him many times and escape from pursuit. But this time, Doflamingo can't escape even if he has wings. Crane Vice Admiral, cough. We are old acquaintances, so let me give you 2 pieces of advice. Letting me down is the worst decision you have ever made. The underground dark undercurrent has begun to surge, and the monsters in the new world are about to start rampaging. Especially the monster among the monsters, his anger is something you Marines can't bear. Advertisement. Doflamingo smiled sinisterly. Stop saying such embarrassing things, the world of, what if, does not exist, only the present result is the reality. Vice Admiral Crane folded his arms and drank coldly. Fufurofer. Don't rush away, I said earlier, 2 pieces of advice. That's just one thing. Doflamingo laughed. Vice Admiral Crane's footsteps paused slightly. That man's power is getting bigger and bigger, even the former admiral of your marine has become his minion. This time, whether it is your marine or the world government, everything will be subverted. The 5 elders of Mariajoy and someone who sits high on the throne, their end is near. Fufurofer. Doflamingo laughed wantonly. A moment of silence. The Vice Admiral Crane didn't stop, and just walked away. At the same time, the capital of de Res Rosa, the sunflower field. Admiral Aokiji is basking in the sun leisurely under the care of Snow Maiden Monet. Clatter. There were footsteps in the sky. Snow Maiden Monet looked up. Waiting to see the figure who stepped into the air, Monet's eyes widened suddenly, and his pupils shrank like needlepoints. Yo, Sengoku-san, Imagawa doesn't have much time to come here. Aokiji spoke with a smile. Kuzan, you kid, don't you deserve a beating? Sengoku gritted his teeth and made a fist. Dwang. Advertisement Chapter 294 Sengoku's Iron Fist of Love. Advertisement. Kuzan, you be asterisk 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 D, stop and don't run. Garp is not here, this time I will give you the Iron Fist of Love. The capital of de Res Rosa, the sunflower field. A once-in-a-century scene is happening. Former Marine Admiral Aokiji Kuzan was kicked out by former Marine Marshal Sengoku and ran around in a panic. Mr. Sengoku, enough is enough. If you continue, I will not be polite. Former Admiral Aokiji rode. What did you say? Is this the way you talk to me? Kuzan, what a guts. I'd like to see what you can do about it. Former Field Marshal Sengoku was getting more and more excited. This scene. He stared directly at the girls in the flower field hut. What happened? What's the matter? Koala asked curiously. As that person Marshal Marine Sengoku. Khalifa recognized the frog-head Sengoku. It's the former Marshal. Robin corrected. That's former Marshal Sengoku. Why is Marshal Marine here? The Princess Rebecca and the little human Princess Manchueli couldn't help being shocked. Ahahaha, such a big thing happened. Of course Marine has to send some heavyweights to deal with the aftermath. The unemployed former Marshal Sengoku and the Chief Advisor Vice Admiral Suru, with their legendary reputation, it is enough to show that Marine attaches great importance to this matter. Sabo, who heard the news, analyzed. Advertisement. Wow, Koala seems to have thought of something. A look of panic appeared on the little face. It's not good. If the former Marshal Sengoku finds out that Miss Robin still has us, Mr. Chiyu is gone now. Koala didn't finish his sentence. The slapstick between the former Marshal and the former Admiral not far away came to an end. One leg is gone, but I can still run so fast. This leg is still as agile as before. Former Marshal Sengoku rode. Thank you Mr. Sengoku for your concern. Aokiji smiled. Sengoku hummed twice. The gaze turned to the hut. His observation hockey has already sensed the lineup there. Nico Robin, son of the devil, Sabo, Chief of Staff of the Revolutionary Army, Tisk. Sengoku clicked his tongue softly. The other side. Sabo, Robin and the others, who noticed Sengoku's gaze, tensed up and entered the first level alert situation. Is that man not on this island now? Sengoku said. Yes. Aokiji nodded solemnly. It's just Mr. Sengoku. Whoever touches him here, I don't think it's a wise choice. What are you nervous about? Sengoku glanced at Aokiji. I'm only here to deal with Doflamingo with Xiaohei. I'm not interested in those little girls. Ask for flowers. 0. Advertisement. This is good, this is it. Aokiji smiled. The breath that was lifted was relieved. If Sengoku is really going to do something, so today he may really face the swordsman of his elders. After all, this is the first task entrusted to him by the new boss. Kuzan, you and Gion can go on according to your own will. Remember, never forget the justice in your heart. 0. Sengoku asked earnestly. Yes. Aokiji nods. Let's go, see you next time. Sengoku turned and waved goodbye. Until watching Sengoku go away. Call. The hanging hearts of Koala, Robin and others finally let go. It really scared me to death. Master Chiyu is not here, I don't even know what will happen. Khalifa patted his heart directly, and felt his heart beating violently. Robin took a deep look at Aokiji. For the nightmare that has plagued me for 20 years, now I have really become a reliable partner. Robin has been carrying incredible emotions. It is only now that I have finally fully accepted this fact. I don't know what's going on with Mr. Chiyu and Yamato. Have you arrived at Wanokuni yet? Koala Road. Keep waiting, there should be news soon. Advertisement Chapter 295. Big Mom Pirates land in Wanokuni. Advertisement. New World, Wanokuni. A mysterious and unknowable country. This is the birthplace of history. It is also an important part of world change. Off the coast of Wanokuni. The wind and the clouds are surging and the waves are rolling. From a distance, one can see a special land that is 100 meters above the water. The closer you get, the clearer the water becomes. Later, the sea seems to be no longer the sea. As clear as a stream in the forest. A strip of beautiful koi with the size of a sailboat in different colors twists its body under the water surface, accumulating energy. In the end, he rushed against the big waterfall and realized the feat of a carp leaping over the dragon's gate. At a certain moment, 337. Crash. The sea was violently turbulent. A sea kings of hundreds of meters class arrived by riding the wind and waves. The colorful koi were so shocked that they all scattered and fled in panic. Overhead of the sea kings. Chi-Yu and Yamato stood peacefully. The feet are like roots. No matter how strong the storm is, they can't shake their figures at all. Wano-kuni, I'm back. Yamato clenched his fists unconsciously. Are you afraid? Chi-Yu asked casually. Do not. Yamato shook his head. This time, the country must be liberated. The expression on Yamato's delicate and pretty face gradually became firmer. For Odin again? Chi-Yu asked. Yamato was taken aback. Immediately shook his head silently. It's my own will, too. Yamato's eyes were clear. That's good. Advertisement. Let's go. Chi-Yu smiled slightly. Sea kings braved the wind and waves, headed for the entrance of the waterfall. More than half a year ago. The eve of the Summit War. Chi-Yu once came to Wano-kuni hand in hand with the Red Hair. That time, the defense facilities arranged by the Beast's pirates at the entrance of the waterfall were destroyed by Chi-Yu and Hongfa. Half a year passed. Arming the Beast's pirates has been redone. As it should be. However, 2 days ago, the arrival of the two men destroyed all the fortifications again. In front of the former sea legend, the One Piece Roger and the marine hero Garp. The fortifications of the Beast's pirates are vulnerable. Now, the bunker at the entrance of the waterfall is empty. Even the surveillance phone bug is paralyzed. Right now, the Beast's pirates are busy hunting down and dealing with the two legendary Roger and Garp. There is already no extra power to monitor the waterfall. The entry of Chi-Yu and Yamato went very smoothly. After a few minutes, the two landed on the deserted Julie coast. After waving back the Sea Kings, Chi-Yu took Yamato straight to the capital of flowers. This moment, the capital of Wano-kuni, the capital of flowers, the general's mansion. Trash. A bunch of trash. All trash. Ah, it's just two people, why can't we catch them now? This general's life is now being threatened. One Piece Roger, where the hell is he now? General Kurozumi Orochi let out a shrill and hoarse cry. Furiously cursing the minions of officials kneeling in front of him. Facing Kurozumi Orochi's fury to ultimate's reprimand, the Wano-kuni officials below all bowed their heads tremblingly, not daring to make the slightest move. Advertisement. Master Serpent. At this moment, Fu Lu Shou, the head of the big snake-eating fan with strangely long earlobes, suddenly spoke loudly. What's the matter? Fu Lu Shou. Kurozumi's anger subsided slightly. The subject thinks that neither Roger the Pirate King nor Garp the Marine Hero is to be feared. Fu Lu Shou said calmly. What did you say? Kurozumi Orochi stared sharply. Driven by anger, his body undergoes drastic changes. It transformed into a hideous monster with 8 heads. Zone Phantom Beast species of Yamato no Orochi. Boom. The floor collapsed. Fu Lu Shou, your life is not threatened, of course you are not afraid. That Roger is Kazuki Odin's partner. He must have come here this time to take my life. Kurozumi Orochi screamed in horror. My Lord General, please be calm. Fu Lu Shou's complexion did not change. Regardless of that Roger's purpose, now we and the Beast's pirates are chasing him with all our might. Besides, the marine hero Garp is not Roger's partner, but his sworn enemy. An enemy's enemy is a friend, that is to say, those 4.8 One Piece are being besieged by the most terrifying three-party forces in this country. Fu Lu Shou analyzed. Well, Kurozumi Orochi's turbulent mood calmed down slightly. Fu Lu Shou smiled slightly and took a step forward. And there will be a fourth-party force arriving soon, and at that time, it will be a lure. Fu Lu Shou rode. Fourth-party force. Who? Kurozumi Orochi was taken aback. Master Serpent. Suddenly, a samurai approached with a hastily yelling. What's wrong? Big Mom Charlotte Linlin has arrived at the dive port. Reported the samurai. Advertisement Chapter 296 Big Mom Charlotte and Linlin's ambition open black lens bracket subscription close black lens bracket. Advertisement. Crash. Rough waves beat against the rocks. Click. Blinding flashes of lightning. Lights up the dim, pitch black sky. This is the island of ghosts that never sees the sun. Long, long ago, this isolated island in the sea was used as a place of exile for Wano-kuni criminals. According to Wano-kuni's native legend, the dark clouds that linger over Oni Island all year round are the condensed grievances and ghosts of sinners of all ages. The island is surrounded by the terrifying Uzumaki. The only safe exit is the main entrance. There used to be a tight military fortress. Make sure there is no escape for the great sinners exiled here. It can only become a small skeleton with a smaller skull than that giant skeleton. It's just that under the erosion of time, the former military Fortress 29 is no longer decayed. Since the rebellion of the Kurozumi clan more than 70 years ago, Guri replaced Onishima as the new lawless place. The island of ghosts has always been in a state of desertion. Until more than 20 years ago, Kaido of the Beast settled in Wano-kuni under the guidance of Kurozumi Higurashi and Kurozumi Semimaru. Kaido, who has a unique aesthetic, immediately fell in love with the giant skull of Oni Island. Decided to make Oni Island the base camp of the Beast's pirates. With the efforts of Wano Kuni's top artisans, today's Ghost Island is no longer the place where criminals were exiled in the past. It is a unique style. In terms of luxury, it is not inferior to the capital of flowers, Pirate's Paradise. Large stages can be seen everywhere, and there are even flower streets for traveling girls. It can be used by the pirates of the 100 Beasts to have fun. Only. Advertisement. No matter how luxurious the interior is. A little. Oni Island has not changed in the slightest from the beginning to the end. That was the dark cloud over the island. Today, the sky was dark. In the thick dark clouds, the sound of electric snakes and thunder can be heard endlessly. Click. Occasionally, dazzling lightning bursts, illuminating the sky. Well. Above the turbulent sea, a burst of cheerful singing suddenly sounded. A huge ship with gaudy cakes and candies rides the wind and waves, heading straight towards the central ghost island. Mom, I can already see the island of ghosts. Long legs will report Star Smoothie. The base camp of Kaido of the Beasts, this is really the first time ever. Slightly narrowed the eyes of Simuji. That's the legendary ghost island, it's really eerie. I don't like this place. Compared to our 10,000 kingdoms, it's really far behind. On the deck, the cadres of the Big Mom pirates looked at the ghost island in the distance, and spoke one after another. Well. The four emperors Big Mom, whose body was like a small titan, laughed, with an inexplicable look on his face. Mom, do we really want to continue? Sure enough, it's too risky. Bree, the mirror fruit ability user, said in a panic. Idiot, why are you still saying such things? It's all here, so there's no reason to go back empty-handed. Candy Minister Perospero reprimanded. Well, Bree, do you want to run away? Charlotte Linlin stared at Bree. Advertisement. No, how come? Bree waved his hands in a panic. In that case, do your own thing. Four Emperors Big Mom grinned. Yes, Mom. Bree nodded awkwardly. If it weren't for the fact that this operation required Bree's mirror fruit ability. Big Mom has long used the soul fruit to rob all of its lifespan. Kaido, your road sign history text, your capable subordinates and your legacy, I accept it bluntly. Well. Four Emperors Big Mom Charlotte Linlin laughed. There's never been an unbreakable friendship between pirates like Big Mom Charlotte Linlin and Kaido of the Beasts. There are only eternal interests. B700 GMOM Charlotte Linlin agreed to Kaido's alliance. Of course, not really wanting to help him through the difficult times. Instead, they want to take the opportunity to gain benefits from Kaido. For example, the most important Red Road sign history article. Big Mom knows that Kaido also has a piece. This time is the opportunity to seize it. As for helping Kaido fight powerful enemies, if it was Roger, she wouldn't beat him. After all, the Roger regiment openly invaded 10,000 kingdoms and snatched the road signs, and the two sides also forged a grudge. As for the others, especially the red hair pirates and some arrogant man, that's still free. Well. In joyous singing. The Queen Mother Anthem, the mother ship of the Big Mom pirates, docked and berthed at the port of Onishima. Hey, Linlin, welcome. Four Emperors Kaido of the Beasts welcome with a big laugh. Advertisement Chapter 297 The Humble Kaido of the Beasts. Advertisement. Well. Ooh. Two bursts of full-fledged laughter shook the world. Belonging to the two emperors of the New World, Four Emperors Big Mom Charlotte Linlin and Four Emperors Kaido of the Beasts. Linlin, you are finally here, welcome. Kaido of the Beasts took the lead. Stride forward. Behind him were the three senior cadres of the 100 Beasts Corps, Three Disasters, Flame Calamity Ember, Plague Quinn, and Jack the Drow. Then there are Filiubao, Spinosaurus Peggy Wan, Puffy-Headed Dragon Wooloo T, Triceratops Sasaki, Saber-Toothed Tiger Phosphid, Black Maria, and Drake's replacement. The Captain Kaido and the six sons of the Three Disasters gathered to meet the Big Mom pirates who landed on the coast. It can be seen that Kaido of the Beasts attaches great importance to this alliance. Well, Kaido, this time is really grand. Four Emperors Charlotte Linlin laughed loudly. That's natural, Linlin, you are my most important partner. Even the reason why I can achieve today's achievements is inseparable from your help back then. For your kindness, I will never forget it. Four Emperors Kaido of the Beasts said politely. Well, you still remember the kindness back then, it's really great. But that was a great favor that I will never forget in my life. Charlotte Linlin laughed happily. 36 years ago. The Four Emperors Kaido of the Beasts is not the most powerful creature on land, sea and air that everyone fears. Advertisement. In the powerful Rocks Pirates, Kaido is just a younger brother trainee. Suffering from the bullying of other cadres. Big Mom Charlotte and Linlin used to bully him a lot. But in the Battle of the Valley of the Gods 36 years ago, Charlotte and Linlin were on a whim. The fruit taken from the hands of celestial dragons, Zone Phantom Beast species fish fruit blue dragon form, which is rarer than Logia, was given to his younger brother Kaido. This has created the most powerful creatures in the sea, land and air, Four Emperors Kaido of the Beasts. Without the blue dragon fruit, Kaido would never have reached the heights he is today. Watching Big Mom Charlotte Linlin so proud, he still regards himself as his younger brother back then. Kaido of the Beasts was dissatisfied. Why is he the most powerful creature so humble? But even if he is unhappy, Kaido of the Beasts will not explode now. After all, this alliance is what he wants from others. The most urgent task is to get the power support of Big Mom and his pirate group to deal with the coming terrible crisis. As long as it can drag the Big Mom pirates into this muddy water, that's enough. As long as they are the Beast's pirates and the Big Mom pirates really become one. Whether it's the Whitebeard pirates or the Red Hair pirates, there's nothing to be afraid of. Come, Lin, we have prepared a sumptuous welcome party for you, as well as your favorite Anko rice cake soup, please enjoy it. Kaido changed the subject. Really? Anko rice cake soup? Big Mom's eyes lit up when he heard his favorite dessert. Advertisement. Then hurry up and lead the way. Sweet and delicious Anko rice cake soup. Charlotte Linlin urged. Well, don't worry, let's go. Quote. Kaido of the Beasts, who successfully changed the subject, laughed, hooked up with Big Mom, and left first. Until the four emperors walked away and entered the palace. That's my Anko rice cake soup. Plague Quinn yelled unwillingly. Anko rice cake soup is also his favorite. Asking him to spare a little is like cutting his flesh. If it were someone else, Quinn, who was as cruel as a plague, had already gone mad, using all kinds of cruel punishments to deal with the other party. But this time it was really impossible. After all, the opponent is the terrifying four emperors Big Mom Charlotte Linlin. Brother Quinn, Nonuos, let's forget it. Jack the Drow patted Plague on the shoulder and followed the pace of Plague of Fire. The Plague of Beasts has changed. Perosparrow and other ministers of the Big Mom pirates sneered and walked in front of the cadres of the 100 Beasts. The girl screamed frantically. Calm down, sister. One of the 6 sons of the Volley, Peggy Wandao, the spiny-backed dragon. So poor. It's so disgraceful. That guy Kaido is so embarrassing. Is this also our captain? Advertisement chapter 298 Iron Boy Jack. This battle is settled. Advertisement. What a shame. That guy Kaido is such a disgrace. The violent and poisonous girl Wuluti, who is also the 6th son of the Volley, stomped her feet angrily. The terrifying power made the ground tremble slightly. What a hot chick, I like it. Charlotte brushed her beard and looked at the crazy Wuluti with great interest. Hey, do you want to be my subordinate? The 4th son Dafu asked. What did you say? B********************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************* definitely kill you. Ulu-T became irritable. The Zone Dragon Fruit's ancient Pachycephalosaurus form ability is activated. Don't be impulsive, sister, stay calm, and focus on the overall situation. Peggy Wan hugged her sister tightly. Humph. Charlotte Dafu and other cadres of the ant group sneered and walked away swaggeringly. The banquet hall of Ghost Island 717. A grand feast is underway to celebrate the alliance of the 4 Emperors Beasts Pirates and the 4 Emperors Big Mom Pirates. The atmosphere is very warm. The wanton laughter of the pirates was everywhere in the banquet. 3 hours after the banquet started. Master Kaido, something is wrong. A pirate from the 100 Beasts suddenly yelled in horror, and crawled to Kaido. What's the matter? It's not proper to be in such a panic. Drought Quinn stared sharply. Advertisement. Master Jack, something is wrong. News came from Julie that something happened in Beluo town, the intruders are coming. The beast group and the pirates shouted to report. What did you say, Nani? As the word, intruder, fell, all the powerhouses in the field except the 4 emperors could not help but turn pale with shock. How understated they were before, how swollen they are now. For Kaido, it was his nightmare. It couldn't have been a worse time for Big Mom. After all, she came here with the idea of getting a ticket and running away. The trespasser. Who is the trespasser? Who is the trespasser? Could it be the One Piece Roger and Marine Garp who smuggled in a few days ago? Plague Quinn asked repeatedly. No, the intruders are Whitebeard Pirates Captain Marco, Captain of the 2nd Division, Fire Fist Ace, and Captain Izo of the 16th Division. The liaison soldier of the 100 Beasts group reported that under the gaze of the Emperor High, his body could not stop swaying. Aside from Phoenix and Fire Fist, is there anyone else? Yan Calamity Ember asked in a deep voice. This, Lord Jin, according to the news from Beluo town, only the whereabouts of Fire Fist has been found for the time being, and no other people have been found. CJBE. The beast soldier who knew he was in trouble replied tremblingly. As his voice fell, the banquet hall was once again silent. The atmosphere was slightly awkward. Their feelings are all made up by their brains to scare themselves. It's just that the 3 captains of the Whitebeard pirates scare their 4 emperors to such an extent. Advertisement. If it gets out, it will lose face. Good moment. Well. Ooh, Charlotte, Linlin and Kaido, the 4 emperors, laughter broke the silence. You are still as timid and useless as before, Kaido. Big Mom Charlotte taunted Linlin calmly. Oh, you too, Linlin, are you scared to pee now? Kaido fought back without showing any sign of weakness. After learning that it was just a few small shrimps, Kaido and Big Mom changed their previous panic and returned to their usual calmness. The cadres of the other 100 Beasts group and the Big Mom group also smiled awkwardly when they saw this. The atmosphere of the banquet was warm again. Brother Jin, what are we going to do about the Phoenix and Fire Fist? Are we just going to let it go like this? The corners of Jack the Dro's eyes twitched, and he looked at the Flame Calamity Ember. Flame Calamity Ember looked back at Jack. I see. Jack nodded knowingly. Leave the matter of 9 miles to me, whether it's Firefist or Whitebeard, Roger, this battle is settled. Jack the Dro's eyes were wide open, and his words were full of hockey. Fire Ember. Plague Quinn. Damn, this is an iron fool. How dare anyone touch it? Ask me to run away as soon as possible, Plague Quinn's proud thoughts. Advertisement Chapter 299. Pioneers of the White Group, Marco, Ace, and Yizang. Advertisement. Wano-kuni, Julie. 40 years ago, this was a place of lawlessness that even General Wano-kuni would have given up on. Lawless elements from all over the country gathered, and chaos abounded. This chaotic phenomenon lasted until more than 30 years ago. With the arrival of Kazuki Oden, the chaos in Julie was finally rectified. Kazuki Oden, who was exiled by Shogun Sukiyaki, was awarded the title of Kuri Daimyo for this reason. After 10 years, Julie once became a model among the 5 major townships. Until the arrival of Kaido of the Beasts, everything changed again. Kazuki Oden, the foolish shogun, was defeated by the combined Kaido of the Beasts and Kurozumi Orochi. The line of Kazuki declined. Guri, which was originally on the right track under Oden's governance. From then on, he walked into a dark abyss that was even more terrifying than before. 20 years later now, the historical turning point of Julie appeared again. Boro Town. This is the most prosperous central town in Julie Township. Among them is the Taoyuan farm specially built by Oden to feed the people. This moment, in this farm that stores the most, cleanest, and most comprehensive food in Julie, the gunfire of resistance is firing. Just 3 people defeated all the beast defenders in Beluo Town. There is no other reason, because they are the captains of the Whitebeard pirates. Master Hold'em, help, really, invaders, invaders. Advertisement. It was the scream of the original Beast's pirates. Kill, 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 scum of the Beast's pirates. I will expel you all, leaving no one behind. Izo, the captain of the 16th Division of the Whitebeard pirates, has red eyes. Driven by anger, the killing intent all over his body is almost substantive. The flintlock guns in both hands exploded again and again. Wherever they passed, the pirates from the original 100 Beasts group screamed again and again. As one of the captains of the Whitebeard pirates, Yizang's strength should not be underestimated. The beast soldiers who stayed behind at Julie Farm almost fell to the ground in pieces. Marco, to hide him. The captain of the second squad, Huaquan Ace, looked at Yizang with a worried expression on his face. No need to say anything, let Yizang vent his anger now. Marco, the captain of the first team, the Phoenix, shook his head. Not long ago, after confirming the battle against Wano-kuni, the Whitebeard pirates started preparing for the war in full swing. Marco, Ace and Yizang are the vanguard of the White Group. As for why they are, the answer is obvious. Ace had an agreement with a certain girl from Wano-kuni, and he wanted to rescue Wano-kuni more than once in the past 2 years. Izo was born in Wano-kuni and was a loyal retainer of General Kazuki Oden. As for Marco, this time, he was the one to take them over the waterfall. Damn it, intruder, don't get too carried away. * 7. Advertisement. The sound of violent drinking exploded. A rough figure, a man-made demon fruit power with a lion's head growing on its belly appeared with heavy steps. He's Jack the Dro's #1 hitman, Hold'em, in charge of everything in Boro Town. Intruders, you have already thought about how to die. Hold'em opened his cruel copper bell eyes, and his eyes swept across the 3 intruders in the field. Next second, the ruthless words that had not yet been uttered came to an abrupt end. Hold'em's already wide eyes widened further. Extreme shock and horror appeared on a lion-like face. Because he had recognized the identities of the 3 intruders. You are all in vain, Marco the Phoenix, Ace the Fire Fist, and the Whitebeard pirates. Really beat Hold'em's terrified screams. Next second. Accompanied by a bang, Yizang's double guns were full of flames. The bullet covered with the powerful hockey was ejected from the chamber, blowing the real Hold'em upside down for tens of hundreds of meters. Looks like it's over, Marco rode. Okay, Ace nodded. Then Marco, I'll leave the rest to you first. I'm going to that village to fulfill the promise I made 2 years ago. Go ahead, Ace. Marco nodded in agreement. Advertisement Chapter 300 Promise. Reunion. Ace and Xiaoyu. Advertisement. Following the defeat of Makoto Hold'em and others. The rebellion in Julibeluo town is over. Marco and Yizang are responsible for distributing the food from the farm to the suffering villagers of Jianlu village. Ace set off with a large amount of food first, and went to the agreed village, Bianli village. It's been almost 3 years, Xiaoyu, I'm sorry, I'm back, and this time I will definitely fulfill my original promise. Ace turned into a flame, and galloped all the way in the direction of Julie Weaving Li village. About 2 years ago, 337, Ace entered New World for the first time. He was the captain of the Spades pirates at the time. By mistake, he brought the Spades to Wano-kuni. In the process of climbing the waterfall, a group of people capsized accidentally. Everyone is floating on the beach. While they were in a coma, the people of Nyagasa village took them back to the village and tied them up. It also took away their food. For Ace, who was a Mara fruit user, ordinary ropes can't bind him in the slightest. But he didn't struggle. It was only after seeing the villagers happily eating their food that they burned the rope with flames. After learning about the tragic situation in Wano-kuni, Ace, who is young and full of justice, goes straight to the island of ghosts without hesitation. To remove the heads of the 4 emperors Kaido of the beasts and solve the source of Wano-kuni's misery. Advertisement. However, I don't know whether it is good luck or bad luck. At that time, Kaido of the Beasts and the three major disasters were all on expeditions. He only meets Yamato, Kaido's daughter who calls herself Kazuki Oden. After a fight, even Yamato couldn't win. Ace knew that he was far from being the opponent of the four emperors, so he had no choice but to escape. Before leaving Wano Kuni, Ace promised to the little girl in Casa Village who begged to take her out to sea that he would definitely come back and let her and everyone in this country have enough food. Then, after leaving Wano Kuni, he joined the Whitebeard pirates. In the Whitebeard pirates, Ace learned about the relationship between Wano Kuni's former lord Kazuki Oden and his father Whitebeard and others. He has proposed war against the Kaido of the Beasts more than once. But for various reasons, it never works. Even Izo, who was the vassal of Kazuki Oden, who most wanted to liberate Wano Kuni, did not agree. Because Izo is well aware of Whitebeard's physical condition and the strength of Kaido of the Beasts. If you start a war rashly, it will inevitably bring an unimaginably heavy burden to Dad Whitebeard's body. The worst situation, even Papa Whitebeard would die fighting. It is because of this. The war against Wano Kuni has not been waged for a long time. Advertisement. But now, the situation is different. Go to the top. The Whitebeard pirates suffered a huge loss. But the rewards are also huge. Ace's rescue is only second. Their biggest achievement is the recovery of Papa Whitebeard. Under Chi Yu's magical fairy beam power, Whitebeard is back on top. Plus this time multiple targets targeting Wano Kuni. This time, we must completely liberate this country that has been dominated and enslaved for 20 years, and fulfill the original promise. I really want to tell Xiaoyu the good news as soon as possible. I don't know if that little guy Xiaoyu has grown into an outstanding coquettish female ninja. Thinking of this, Ace couldn't help grinning. Wow. Suddenly, a large, rough-looking Komaru suddenly jumped out of the bamboo forest and stood in front of Ace. Hey, where did the 3.2 big dog come from? It's a breed I've never seen before. I don't know how it tastes like. Ace looked at him with great interest. Stop it, Komashio is my friend, you are not allowed to think of it, if you have the ability, come at me. A pretty little girl's voice came from the stone road behind. Not long after, a little girl about 6 years old, carved in pink and jade, appeared in front of Ace. Little Jade. Hey hey hey, Ace. Advertisement Chapter 301, Sensible Ayu. Shocked Fike. Advertisement. Wano Kuni 9 miles, on the bamboo forest path leading to the weaving village. Take Wano Kuni's unique Haruko dog as an opportunity. Ace and Xiaoyu, after more than 2 years, goodbye. Ace, it's really you. I almost thought it was my eyes that were hallucinating. Lowly Xiaoyu spoke in surprise. The expression on the small face was a little dazed, but Ting looked cute. Xiaoyu, I haven't seen you for 2 years, you've grown a little bit. Ace laughed a few times. He stepped forward happily, raised Xiaoyu above his head, and spun around a few times. Ha ha ha, Ace, put me down quickly, I'm not a child anymore. Xiaoyu giggled, smiling and laughing, my stomach suddenly let out an unsatisfactory gurgling sound. Wano Kuni dominated by Kaido and Kurozumi Orochi. It is very unfriendly to low-level poor people like Xiaoyu 29. It is a luxury to even eat a meal of white rice all year round. My stomach, hold back, you are going to become a coquettish female ninja. Xiaoyu patted her growling stomach, her face full of seriousness. Ha ha ha, you can't hold back when you're hungry. Xiaoyu, look, I brought a lot of delicious food over here this time. Ace silently touched Xiaoyu's head. Then he untied the big package behind him. In an instant, big bone meat, sea animal meat, cakes, melons and fruits, all kinds of delicacies appeared in the eyes of little lowly Xiaoyu. This is the first time Xiaoyu has seen so many delicacies since she was born. Smell the aroma of barbecue and the fragrance of vegetables and fruits. Luoli Xiaoyu couldn't help but look straight at her big eyes, and the saliva from the corner of her mouth couldn't stop dripping. Advertisement. This, are all these brought by you, Ace? Woof woof. The coma dog on the side is also drooling 3,000 feet. It doesn't expect to be able to eat meat, as long as it can have a bone to gnaw it is satisfied. No, Komashio, we can't eat it yet. The delicious food brought by Ace has to be brought back to the village to share with the master and everyone. Xiaoyu educates Koma Inu like a little adult, and she is so sensible that it makes people feel distressed. If it were other children, they would see so many delicacies when they were hungry. I'm afraid he has already pounced on him to feast on it, so he wouldn't think of other people. Wow woof. Koma Inu barked a few more times to agree. What a good boy, let's go back and eat slowly. Ace repackages the food. Immediately afterwards, he hugged Shoutama and sat on the back of Koma Inu. Not long after, a dilapidated village appeared in the sight of 2 people and 1 dog. Compared with more than 2 years ago, Bionli village is obviously more impoverished. The samurai who guarded the village were also absent. He was caught and imprisoned by Kurozumi Orochi on various trumped-up charges. Most of the people living in the village are old, weak, sick and disabled. Grandpas, mothers-in-law and everyone, you all come out quickly. Ace, the former Ace has returned and brought us a lot of delicious food. Let's all eat to our heart's content today. Xiaoyu trotted excitedly, knocking on doors from door to door. Not long after, the only dozens of old, weak, sick and disabled people in Bionli village gathered in 10. Waiting to see Ace in the open space and the assortment of delicious food. The old people and the children of Casa Village cheered happily. Xiao Yu, come over and sit down and eat. Ace brought back Xiao Yu, who was still planning to run around. Advertisement. But the master hasn't come back yet, I have to look for it. Xiao Yu hesitated. Don't worry, your master Fei Che is a warrior. Ace laughed. Well, it's true. Xiao Yu nodded heavily. Then start packing the food. This is for the master, this is for Sister Suru from Zhonlu Town, and Xiao Yu picks and packs the portion to give to others. In the end, 950 only forgot about itself. In this regard, Ace seemed to have expected it, and handed over a big piece of flesh and blood that he had secretly hidden to Xiao Yu. Whizzing. At this time, there was a slight rustling sound in the bamboo forest. Xiao Yu, everyone, the swordsmith Tenguyama Fike, who wore a big Tengu mask, shouted. Ah, it's the master is back. Xiao Yu immediately shouted happily. A moment's work. Tiango Mountain Fike has already flied in front of everyone. Looking at the dazzling array of delicacies, and the smiling pockmarked young man. Tiangashan Fike's eyes widened in shock. You are, Ace. Tiango Mountain Fike screamed. Mr. Fei Che, we meet again, this time I am here to fulfill my promise. Let's liberate this country together. Ace smiled. Advertisement Chapter 302 The Ace Trio meet Chi Yu and Yamato. Advertisement. Julie, Bian Li Village. Eat and drink enough. The lifeless Bian Li Village finally regained some vitality. The surviving villagers gathered in twos and threes, basking in the sun leisurely. The plainly dressed little lowly Xiao Yu had a bright smile on her face from the bottom of her heart. After running, the old people brought melons and fruits after the meal. The other side, Tiangashan Fike went into the house with Ace to discuss important matters. What did you say? A loud cry full of shock came from inside the tree house. The resounding resounded all over the field, and the leaves in the trembling forest all rustled down. Is it true, Ace? Is what you said true? Is it really possible for our country, this Wanokuni, to be liberated? The eyes of Tiango Mountain Fike under the mask instantly turned red. Since 18 years ago, the Lord Kazuki Oden died. The country is completely ruled by Kurozumi Orochi and Kaido. The people of this country are also in dire straits. Many people with lofty ideals, including Tiangashan Fike, never stop thinking about liberating this country. However, their strength is weak, and the enemy is too strong. All the samurai are only adhering to the prophecy of Mrs. Shi 18 years ago. I firmly believe that the Red Sheath Warrior will return in 20 years. Take it as a belief, and this has persisted until now. Now, there are still 2 years left before the 20-year period predicted by Mrs. Shi. But the opportunity for liberation came suddenly. Advertisement. For a while, Tiango Mountain Fike couldn't help being a little confused. Ace, I need to know the basis for your statement, can you reveal a thing or two? Tiango Mountain Fike asked solemnly. It is good. Ace nodded. Immediately there was no concealment. Inform the Whitebeard pirates of their actions, the arrival of Roger and Garp, and the movements of other important figures. As for the situation in the open sea, Tiangashan Fike didn't know much about it. For a while, it was also foggy. But there is one thing he knows. That is, this time there will be an unimaginable combat force involved. Former partners of their lord, Kazuki Oden. Powerhouses who are at the same level as Kaido of the Beasts or even above it will join hands. If it is like this, maybe it will work. Do not. It will definitely work. 20 years after Mrs. Shi's prophecy, the return of the 9 red scabbard warriors will make Wanokuni more than a year away from the founding of the country. I have always believed in it and waited for the return of the warriors. But now, the direction of history has completely shifted. Sorry ma'am, instead of waiting for the return of the samurai in a year, now is the time for the founding of Wanokuni. Fike kowtowed deeply towards the void. Some of the old faces under the mask are just absolute firmness. Ace, the founding of the country is a matter of Wanokuni, please let me join in, and the patriots who are scattered all over the country are waiting for you. Fei Che solemnly begged. Ah, of course. Ace smiled slightly. Around noon. Advertisement. After a brief explanation and preparation, Ace took Xiao Yu and Fike carried the sword box. The three of them left the Casa village on a Erha Koma dog. Prepare to go to Zhonlu town, first meet Marco, Yizang and others, and then make plans. As Fitch said, the liberation and founding of Wanokuni. We cannot rely entirely on external forces like them. They also need the addition of their native Wanokuni warriors. He and Izo came here as the vanguard of the Whitebeard pirates. There is also the purpose of contacting the warriors from all sides. After a few minutes, a large Komaru dog ran out of the bamboo forest with the three of Ace and came to the vicinity of Garita port. At the same time, Guri Ida harbor coast, a Sea King's mount slowly landed and parked. Of the money, wait a minute, Koma Inu. Ace let out a drink, and looked at the Sea Kings on the coast, his expression gradually moved. Is that Sea Kings? Why is it here? Tiango Mountain Fike's expression was moved. Next second, under the horrified eyes of 3 people and 1 dog. 2 unusually tall figures jumped down from the top of Sea Kings. Waiting to recognize the 2 tall figures, Ace's eyes widened in an instant, surprise and excitement written all over his face. That's Mr. Chi Yuan. Yamato. Ace screamed unconsciously. Yuan. Advertisement Chapter 303 Yamato wants to sacrifice himself to stop Chi Yu. Advertisement. A quarter of noon. The sun was strong and hot. However, it is not as good as a certain man. An hour ago. Chi Yu, who entered the daily arrogance posture, returned to the hut above the head of the Sea Kings to take a nap. Prepare to make Yamato wait until he is in the place before waking him up. However, Yamato, a carefree girl, was also taken aback. As soon as they arrived, they hurriedly woke up Chi Yu, who was still in an arrogant posture. Mr. Chi Yu, where are we going next? Yamato asked with a cute face. Sure enough, we still need to join Roger, the One Piece King, first, and then slowly discuss the long-term plan. What nonsense are you talking about? Yamato. Chi Yu was condescending, looking down at Yamato arrogantly. The next place I'm going to is of course Ghost Island. I still have to find your idiot father to have a good discussion. Alas, Yamato was taken aback. I thought it was different from what I said in the morning. But, Mr. Chi Yu, didn't we 120 receive the news, Big Mom, that 4 Emperor's aunt has also landed in Wano-kuni? If it's just the two of us now, won't it be bad? Yamato said worriedly. Who do you think I am? Chi Yu's tall figure cast a terrifying shadow. Those horned dragon-like muscles made Yamato swallow hard unconsciously. Under Chi Yu's arrogance and Haki's control, she only felt that a small heart was beating unconsciously. Suddenly, Yamato shook his head violently again. No, now is not the time to think about this. The most urgent thing is to stop Mr. Chi Yu. You must not go to the current Ghost Island. Facing 4 Emperor's pirates at the same time, even Mr. Chi Yu, who is unparalleled in the world, and now, Mr. Chi Yu's increase will gradually weaken. CJAD. Yamato made up his mind to hold Chi Yu down. Think here. She took a deep breath. Regardless of the heat, he decisively opened his arms and hugged his chest. Advertisement. The scorching heat from the sun made her fair skin flush instantly. However, Yamato still has no intention of letting go. Yamato, do you want to stop me? Use your own body to stop me, who is the sun. Chi Yu smiled slightly. Yes, Mr. Chi Yu, please be patient for a moment. As long as you don't go directly to Ghost Island, no matter what you do to me, I won't resist. Yamato blushed and mustered up the courage to speak. Oh, Chi Yu narrowed his eyes slightly. Don't wait for the two sides to spark any sparks. In the bamboo forest not far away, there was a young man's strange cry. Mr. Chi Yu and Yamato. Ace shouted excitedly. Tread. Haruko strode forward. Not far from Chi Yu and Yamato, they slammed on the brakes. Can't get too close to the sun. Ace. Seeing the sudden appearance of Ace, Yin and Lu were taken aback. Why are you here? No, it's really good of you to be here. Yamato's eyes lit up. For the reunion with Ace. She was also overjoyed. In addition to the inherent friendship. More importantly. Finally there is a helper who can stop Chi Yu with him. Yamato, you and Mr. Chi Yu are. Ace glanced at the two people who behaved intimately, with surprise on his face. Isn't it a coincidence that I came here, or should you finish the selection? Advertisement. Ace tentatively spoke. What are you talking about, Ace? For that odd hint at Ace. Yamato, who claims to be a man, didn't notice it at all. I'm just trying to stop Mr. Chi Yu, otherwise, Mr. Chi Yu will go to the island of ghosts alone to face Beasts and Big Mom, the 4 Emperor's pirates. Yamato said anxiously. Nani, heard the words. Ace was also shocked, not just because Chi Yu was going to the island of ghosts. It is because of the information disclosed in Yamato's words. Not just Beasts pirates, even the Big Mom pirates landed in Wano-kuni. This time they will face 4 Emperor's pirates. Ace, don't be dazed, hurry up and help me, I can't stand it anymore. Yamato urged. Ooh, Ace came back to his senses belatedly. Wait a minute, I'll be right there. With that said, Ace dialed a Whitebeard bug. Long before leaving the team as a pioneer, Whitebeard had entrusted him with it. If you meet Chi Yu, tell him by phone bug. Ace did not forget. Blue. After a brief ringing, the phone bug connects. Ace, what's wrong? Whitebeard's voice came from the other end of the phone bug. Father, I met Mr. Chi. But now there is a little problem. Advertisement chapter 304, The Cheating Ace. Whitebeard is P********* D off. Advertisement. Stormy New World. A large whale boat rides the wind and waves, like a giant in the sea. The ship's name is Moby DK. Belongs to one of the overlords of this sea, 4 Emperors Whitebeard Edward Newgate. Some moment. Daddy. Father, it's Ace's contact. Looks like Ace and the others have arrived at Wano-kuni. Joe's, Vista and other captains gathered together on the deck. Quickly. The phone bug connects. Cool la. Whitebeard laughed. Next second, the laughter stopped abruptly with Ace's words. Dad, I met Dr. Chi at Wano-kuni. Also, the current situation seems to be a bit bad. Heard the words. The deck of the huge whale ship couldn't help being silent. By the way, what time is it? Lakyo, the captain of the 7th Division, suddenly asked. About a quarter of an hour past 12. Joe's replied blankly. Then, the bad situation that Ace said, could it be? Beasta, Bramank and others all showed a ghost-like expression, their eyes widened. Whitebeard opened his mouth. I just wanted to order to hang up the bug and talk to you later. Next second, I heard Ace speak again. Father, it just so happened that you said you had something to say to Mr. Chi Yu last time, so I'll send the phone bug over there right now. Ace said and stepped forward. Advertisement. At the same time. The phone bug's skin also turns red at a speed visible to the naked eye. It represents the closer distance with a hot man. Pit father Lousy doesn't want to talk to the current guy. Whitebeard didn't like it 100 times. But until now, I can only bite the bullet and go on. After all, the sons are watching. If he shrinks back now, it's really not a good example. Thinking of this, Whitebeard hurriedly collected his emotions. Hoo la 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 la, Chi Yu, long time no see. Whitebeard laughed. Whitebeard, if you have something to say, hurry up, I will go to the island of ghosts to have a hearty battle later. Chi Yu hockey's opening. Alas, Joe's, Vista and other captains were all shocked. Only then did he finally know exactly what the bad thing Ace said was. Not only because of Chi Yu's current arrogance, but also because of what he is about to do. No, can't go to the island of ghosts. Too dangerous. We have received news that the Beast's pirates and Big Mom pirates have joined forces. If you go there now, it's equivalent to one person going to war with 2 imperial regiments. All the captains of the Baituan persuaded again and again. Whitebeard pirates, are you underestimating me? Don't think I'm as timid as your father. Chi Yu spoke arrogantly. The voice fell. The deck of the whaleship was silent again. Advertisement. Dissatisfaction appeared on the faces of all the captains of the Baituan. Even if they are their benefactors, they absolutely do not allow others to slander their father at will. Ask for flowers. Just when Bista and others were preparing to fight back, Whitebeard waved his hand instead, signaled the captains to be silent. At the same time, he held his nose and started a series of wrangling with the current Chi Yu. He comforted Chi Yu now that he was in a special state, so he didn't care about it. Even so, listen to Chi Yu's inner and outer words, what he said and what he didn't say. Whitebeard was still P********* D off. 0. *********. This moment. Wanokuni. Julie. Dateport, looking at Chi Yu being held back by Whitebeard. Both Yamato and Ace couldn't help heaving a sigh of relief. Ace, who is this beautiful big sister and the handsome big brother beside her? At this moment, the little lowly Xiaoyu on the back of Komaru finally couldn't help but speak curiously. Ace, who is that person? Tiangoshan Fike also spoke, with a slight trill in his voice. The old face under the big Tengu mask has been completely occupied by the emotion called shock. Even if you just look at it from a distance. Unconsciously, he felt a great sense of awe in his heart. It seems that what exists not far away is not a person, but the sun high above. Mr. Fike, this is exactly one of the existences that I told you about before, even more powerful than Kaido of the beasts, Mr. Chi Yu, the uncrowned emperor. Ace introduced him passionately. Nani, advertisement chapter 306 reunion of old friends. Yizang and Zhu Tianwan. Advertisement. Stepping. The ground trembled under the heavy footsteps. A cloud of dust was stirred up. Hey, when did your leak-picking town have such a shitty luck? Where is that guy who sent you so many good things? It's a pity that you don't have the blessing to enjoy these things. Let us bear it for you. Little ones, don't be polite to them, move them all away. Today is really our lucky 533 day. Fat it, you can enjoy it for at least half a month now. A group of vicious-looking bandits laughed wantonly. Looking at the huge food treasure ship parked in Jianlu Town. The bandits' eyes were shining brightly, and they were extremely excited. Hey, you stinky brat over there, shut up and don't eat any more, these are already ours. A bandit angrily drinks a child who is feasting. If you want to survive, stay away from the treasure ship. Another irascible bandit immediately drew his knife out of its sheath, and walked towards the treasure ship with a murderous look. He wanted to drive away the poor people of Jianlu Town who gathered near the treasure ship. But don't wait for them to approach. Next second. Raging. Advertisement. Blue flames blazing. Hey, these foods are given to everyone by me. If you want to snatch them, you'd better go through my level first. Marco smiled. Spread your wings. Drive a terrifying storm attack. In an instant, all the bandits ordered to turn their backs on their backs. Under the awe of Marco's powerful momentum, the Tushan thieves, who were still arrogant before, could not help but change their expressions at this moment. All of them hurriedly gathered beside the leader on the back of the big green bull, begging for shelter. However, Ashura boy Shudenmaru, the leader of the thieves, didn't seem to have heard of the subordinates' gaffes. From the beginning to the end, his sight was only firmly locked in the direction of the tea shed. Locked firmly on the former partner. You are Ashura Doji Shudenmaru. Looking at the middle-aged man with a wide body and a fat body on the back of the big green bull. Yizang stood up abruptly, already recognizing the identity of the visitor. It's been a long time, Yizang. Ashura boy Shudenmaru sneered. There was no joy of reuniting with an old friend on his face. Some are still just cold. Shudenmaru, what do you mean? As Odin-sama's retainer, what are you doing now? Have you returned to your old profession and become a bandit? As a warrior, don't you feel ashamed? Advertisement. Yizang Heng raised his eyebrows coldly and scolded angrily. Simple observation. He already understood the identity of the Ashura boy Shudenmaru now. Ha ha. Ha 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 ha. Shudenmaru suddenly laughed out loud like a bewildered man. Samurai. What a long-standing name. As early as 18 years ago, the samurai Shudenmaru died, and he was buried with that city. Shudenmaru laughed coldly. What did you say? Yizang stepped on the ground suddenly with his foot, and his figure shot out suddenly. In a moment, it landed on the back of Daqing Niu, and grabbed Zhu Tianwan's collar with his right hand. This country is finished. The Kazuki family is finished too. The so-called prophecy is just a joke, no one will come back alive. Ha 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 ha, it's all over. Zhu Tianmaru opened his eyes wide and let out a frenzied cry. Hold Judianwan, it's not over yet. Take back your words. Yizang roared. 32.1 years ago, you abandoned this country and went out to sea as a thief. What right do you have to say such things? I am a bandit. That's right, but aren't you also a pirate? 18 years ago, when we were living and dying, where were you? Now you have come back and taught me a lesson. You who have never experienced despair, what qualifications do you have to teach me here? I have exhausted all the warrior blood in my body for this country. Shudenmaru's eyes were red, and he cried out in despair and pain. Advertisement Chapter 307 Lord Odin's Conqueror's Hockey. Advertisement. 18 years ago, Odin died. Jinamon, Lei Zhang and others were sent to the future by Mrs. Shi. Those in charge of the rear, such as Shudenmaru and Denjiro, remained as Kazuki's last stand, dormant in Wanokuni. However, under the double oppression of Kurozumi Orochi and Beast's pirates, the living space of the rebels headed by Shudianmaru was squeezed to the limit. Even the most basic food and clothing cannot be maintained. Their weapons decayed under the ravages of time. Their bodies, strength, and swordsmanship are also worn out and exhausted by time. They couldn't wait any longer. In that long and hopeless life, Shudenmaru didn't want to die with such regret. Ever since 10 years ago, Shudenmaru made a decision. They eat all the food. Wipe the weapon shiny. 29. In a ship almost decayed in time, the samurai headed by Zhu Tianmaru headed towards Oni Island in mighty force. Want to get rid of the cancer rooted in this country. However, the final result is already doomed. Under the overwhelming strength of Kaido of the beasts, they were wiped out almost instantly. Only Shudenmaru survived because of the appreciation of Kaido of the beasts and wanted to be accepted as a subordinate. It was this battle that took away all of Shudianmaru's self-confidence and pride. He fled back to Julie alone and forgot his red sheath identity. Take the lead, recruit your men, and do what you did decades ago before you met Kazuki Odin. It's over. There's no future for this country. Zhu Tianmaru opened his mouth quietly, his brows and eyes were full of darkness and despair. Judianwan. Advertisement. Yizang's face was as pale as paper. He can feel it. An old friend, despair in his heart. You're right, I really have no right to blame you for abandoning this country, but you're wrong about one thing, it's not over yet. The future of this country is in your hands now, in the hands of every samurai who has Kazuki in his heart, so come with me and fulfill Odin-sama's legacy and let Wanokuni start the country. Ikura took a deep breath and extended an invitation to Shudenmaru. However, snapped. There was a crisp sound. Shudenmaru mercilessly slapped away Yizo's invitation. His expression was filled with indifference and sarcasm. The most important lord, the person I was following is no longer here. From now on, I just need to live as I want. What you want to do is your business. If you want to start a country, then do it yourself. Don't pull me on. Zhu Tianwan said. Shudenmaru, you be ***************************************** D. Yizang finally couldn't hold back his anger. Until now, he who had been patient all this time was finally irritated by Judianmaru's indifferent attitude. Boom. Yizang punched Judianwan in the face, knocking him off the back of the bull. B***************** D, you really dare to do something to me. Zhu Tianmaru was furious, and threw his fist at each other mercilessly. Since you don't want to take the initiative to wake up from the hopeless dream, then I will wake you up. Yizang angrily reprimanded, too strong enough to be ranked in the top 5 echelons of the world. At this moment, he gave up his weapon. It's just like a street hooligan, fighting each other with fists. There was nothing Marco could do about it. The bandits under Judianmaru looked at each other in blank dismay. He didn't dare to help the leader rashly for a while. Advertisement. Crash. The wind howled. The big coma dog carried Chi Yu and his party back to Jianlu town. Sister Suru, Marco, Xiao Yu and Ace stepped forward quickly. Ace, you're back. Marco, what's going on? Why did Yizang fight with that fat man? Ace asked puzzled. That fat man is a bandit nearby, and at the same time, Yizang's former partner. 30 years ago, when I came here with my father, I met him once. He is also Odin's vassal. So it's not good for me to interfere. Marco shook his head helplessly. This. 847 finished listening to Marco's explanation. Ace couldn't help but be stunned. As Marco said, there is nothing they can do. Yizang, Judianwan, stop fighting. Tiangashan Fike tried to dissuade him. However, it has no effect. Sure enough, violence is still needed to separate them here. Yamato puts on the Hanya mask and is about to separate the two as Kazuki Odin. At this moment, a warm and powerful hand fell on her shoulder. Yamato looked at Chi Yu and tilted his head in confusion. Without waiting for her to ask. Cemetery. Heaven and earth wind up. Both of you, stop it. A loud shout suddenly exploded on the wasteland. Accompanied by an incomparably familiar hockey. That's Lord Odin's Conqueror's hockey. Zhu Tianwan's head boomed, and he dreamed back decades ago in an instant. My, Master Odin. Advertisement Chapter 308 Kazuki Odin is back. Advertisement. The barren land of 9 miles. The path where the Urharuko dog ran. Silently. No one noticed. A tall figure emerged from nothing, solidified from hollow, and slowly emerged. He is tall, with a pair of red phoenix eyes. Thick eyebrows are eye-catching. The wild long black hair hangs loose while being gathered at the top into a large circular flat top. He is dressed in an orange kimono with a crescent moon printed on it, and a huge purple and white shimanawa tied around the shoulders and waist. If someone who knew him was here, his eyes would pop out of their sockets in shock. The whole person was shocked beyond measure. Because the tall man who appeared here out of thin air is the soul of the dead 18 years ago. The former 2nd Division captain of the Whitebeard pirates. Also the former master of Wano-kuni, Kazuki Oden. Now, passive via Chi-Yu's system. Life and death are reversed. Kazuki Oden, who died for 18 years, is back here. Kazuki Oden kept his eyes closed and stood still. Digesting a lot of information in his mind. How did I come back to life? And what happened in the years after his death? For a long time. Kazuki Oden, who roughly understood everything, let out a long breath, and opened his eyes faintly. Wherever it entered, it was full of scars. Julie, which was full of greenery in the impression, is no longer. In its place is only this polluted homeland. Looking at the barren land in all directions. Kazuki Oden couldn't help but see endless sadness in his eyes. For the incompetent self in the past, there is infinite hatred. Quickly, Kazuki Oden wiped away tears from the corners of his eyes. He knows. Advertisement. I don't have time to be decadent. Since God has given him this chance of rebirth, then he must take good care of it. This time, absolutely not to repeat the same mistakes. This time, the people must not be disappointed again. This time, he wants to subvert everything with his own hands and make up for the mistakes made by the previous fool His Highness. This time, he must let Wano-kuni start the country. Think here. There was no confusion on Kazuki Oden's face. He spread his legs and strode forward. About 10 minutes later, a dilapidated small village appeared in his sight. According to the intelligence memory in the mind, there is the village of Picking Leeks. It is lived by the poor people at the bottom of Wano-kuni who live by picking up garbage in Beluo town. Kazuki Oden's eyes swept across the village. Quickly. He caught 2 familiar figures. That is Yizang and Ashura boy Judianwan on the back of the big green bull at the entrance of the village. Oden just wanted to say hello and tell them about his return. At this time, but I saw Yizang and Judianwan fighting fiercely together. Fist to flesh, punch to see blood. Kazuki Oden was taken aback for a moment. Combine intelligence memory in your mind. He soon understood the reason why Yizang and Judianwan fought together. After a brief hesitation, Kazuki Oden firmed the look on his face. Both of you, stop me. The majestic cut-off drink suddenly exploded. It reverberated in the sky above Jonlu town, and it lasted for a long time. Advertisement. What followed was an incomparably powerful spiritual shock. That's the power of Kazuki Oden's Conqueror's Haki. Under the impact of Kazuki Oden's Conquerors, the bodies of the bandits of the unsuspecting Tushin bandit group all froze. Next second, the bandits' eyes gradually lost their luster. His eyes gradually turned white, finally fell powerlessly to the ground. Yizang and Judianwan, who were wrestling together, both of them stopped. Looking at the younger brother who kept falling beside him. Feel the indescribable pressure. Judianwan only felt a rumble in his head. Memories of the past involuntarily surface. That was 40 years ago. At that time, he was the tyrant of Julie and led his younger brothers to rob houses and loot houses. However, one day, a man suddenly appeared. Just a look made his little brothers fall unconscious one by one. Immediately afterwards, he defeated him with overwhelming strength. But the last, that heroic man did not end his life just yet. Instead, he led his original scum-like life, Qian Nuo Zhao, to the right path. Taught him to be a true warrior. Even establishing order in this chaotic Julie. Let every homeless person find his own home. That man's name is Kazuki Oden. It is the man he swore to follow his whole life. 18 years ago, Kazuki Oden died. Ju Tianmaru then lost the lighthouse of life. But now, this familiar feeling. Shudenmaru's huge body trembled unconsciously. Ju Tianwan's lips trembled slightly. Master Oden. Yizang yelled in shock, saying the name that Shudenmaru failed to say. Country. Advertisement Chapter 309 Shock. Excited. Tian Yu Zan, Yan Mo. Advertisement. Plop. Shudenmaru fell to his knees weakly on the ground. Not because of the mighty conqueror's onslaught. He turned his head blankly. The eyesight of his eyes was just staring at the wasteland 100 meters away. Among the flying dust, stood a huge figure standing tall. Quote. Shudenmaru's mouth trembled uncontrollably. Big. Tears gradually blurred his vision. Not just Judianwan. Wu, the owner of the tea house, Suru, also involuntarily raised his hand to cover his mouth. 2 lines of clear tears fell down her cheeks. That person is. Marco's eyes are wide open, his mouth is asleep. The eyeballs almost jumped out of the eye sockets, and the chin almost reached the ground. He also recognized the tall figure 100 meters away. How can you not recognize it? Because that used to be their closest partner. That adult is also shocked by Oden's sudden arrival to the point that they couldn't even show their shadows were Tiangashan Fike 480 and Yamato. Especially Yamato. 18 years ago, in the capital of flowers, she once witnessed Odin's feat of persevering in an oil pan for an hour. That heroic attitude was firmly engraved in her young heart, which would never be erased in her life. It was also after that, Yamato became a fan of Kazuki Odin. Started imitating Odin's dress, Odin's tone of voice. Even calling himself Kazuki Odin in front of others. Now that Kazuki Odin is no more, let her be Kazuki Odin. This was originally Yamato's goal. But now, her idol. She is obsessed with the man she wants to be. Advertisement. So suddenly, appeared. What exactly is going on? Hallucination. Do not. Standing there is a living beating of life. So could it be the clone fruit ability user who caused Odin to lose 18 years ago? Do not. Even if it can imitate the appearance. But the inside, especially the mighty King Haki, is absolutely impossible to imitate. Then there is only one answer left. Kazuki Odin is really resurrected. People who have been dead for many years come back from the dead or something. If this kind of thing was placed in the past, no one would believe it. But now it is different. Some at war. Countless people have witnessed the miracle happen. Witnessed the resurrection and return of the One Piece King Roger who had been dead for more than 20 years. In this way, Kazuki Odin's resurrection, too, isn't so hard to swallow. But why is Kazuki Odin resurrected? Who is it that brings back the dead like Odin and Roger? Just for a moment, Yamato already had the answer in his mind. She turned her head suddenly, and her gaze was locked on Chi-Yu who was always calm. In this world, there is one and only one miraculous person. YF2F. Lord Odin. A hoarse roar broke the dead silence in the arena. From Izo, the captain of the 16th Division of the Whitebeard Pirates. Looking at the familiar tall figure not far away. Tears couldn't stop pouring out of Yizang's red eyes. Using both hands and feet, he forced himself to control his uncontrollable body, and stumbling CJEI approached the dreamlike figure. Finally, touch. Feel the real touch and temperature. Advertisement. Yizang couldn't help crying, unable to utter a word. Yizang, I'm back. Kazuki Odin leaned down and embraced the weeping vassal in his arms. Odin, are you really back? Odin. Marco's emotions were also uncontrollable, and he yelled at the top of his voice. Ah. Ace's eyes widened in surprise. Odin, is that person Kazuki Odin? However, Odin didn't early. Ace's words came to an abrupt end. Because he suddenly thought of it. Own biological father. One Piece Roger is already dead. However, it is still active above the sea. After the One Piece Roger. The second undead has been revived. Lord Odin. Tiango Shan Fike yelled hoarsely with excitement, stumbled and ran towards Odin, and then fell to his knees. Fei Che, what are you doing? Get up quickly. Kazuki Odin recognized Fike immediately and stepped forward to help him. Master Odin, you are finally back. We have always believed in it. We believe that one day you will return and regain the glory of Kazuki. Tiango Mountain Fike also wept uncontrollably. Kazuki Odin's firm heavy head. With Odin's support, Fike got up tremblingly. Wiping away his tears, suddenly, Fei Che seemed to think of something. He hastily tied the package behind him. Raise your hands solemnly. Master Odin, I have kept it for you for so many years. Now is the time to return it to its original owner. Tiango Mountain Fike said solemnly. Looking at the wooden box Fike handed over, Kazuki Odin felt his heart beating violently. The familiar feeling arises spontaneously, making his emotions involuntarily high. Pada. The lock of the wooden box popped open. Two broadswords, one white and one black, appeared in Kazuki Odin's sight. Here is his saber, Tien Yu Zan, who can cut even the sky, and Enma, the famous sword that can conquer even hell. Advertisement Chapter 310 Hustle and Bustle. Boiling. Please trust me again. Advertisement. Tien Yu Zan and Ban He Dao Yan Mo. These two big fast knives are exactly Kazuki Odin's sabers. Even in Dakue Dao 21 works, it is top grade and can be ranked in the top 5. Especially Yan Mo, who claims to be able to conquer even hell. Kazuki Odin used this knife to leave an indelible cross scar on the stomach of the 4 emperors Kaido of the beasts. In terms of quality, this famous sword is second only to the sword god Ryoma's Heidao Chushui among the heavenly swords. And this is because Yanmo has not yet fully refined into a black sword. If it is completely refined into a black knife, its quality may be improved to a higher level. It is not impossible even if it is comparable to the peerless sword. Looking at his two favorite knives, Kazuki Odin couldn't help showing a little excitement on his face. Thanks for saving my knife. Feather. Thanks Kazuki Odin. No, Master Odin, where are you talking? Everything is what I should do. Fike waved his hands again and again. Kazuki Odin didn't say much. Zhang Fike and Yizang helped him up. The three of them walked towards the stunned people step by step. Not long, Odin came to Shudenmaru, Suru and all the residents of Jonal town. This moment, the entire Xiaolei town fell into absolute silence. Shudenmaru, Suru and everyone just stared blankly at the figure in front of them that made them think about it day and night. That is the deepest part of their hearts that supports them to live tenaciously. Now it just appeared in front of them. It was too sudden. So much so that people couldn't believe their eyes for a while. I dare not accept the shocking facts that I saw before my eyes. Only when everything is a dream. My Lord Odin. The owner of the tea house, Suru, fell to his knees in front of Odin in shock. Advertisement. Next second, like a chain reaction of dominoes, all the villagers in Jianlu village fell to their knees. The old people here are almost all the first-generation residents of Juli. That is to say, after conquering Curry from Odin and becoming the daimyo of Curry. They have been living here. Build a home with Odin. They are Kazuki Odin's most loyal fans. This moment. Looking at the former master, he really appeared. Unprecedented excitement and exhilaration dominated people's bodies and minds. Lord Odin, are you really Master Odin? Master Odin, is it really you who came back? Kazuki, is Kazuki really back? 18 years, Lord Sudian has really come back. Our Lord is back, the country is saved. The entire Jianlu village was in a state of boiling emotion at this moment. Everyone, I'm really sorry for making you suffer all these years. It's all my incompetence. Kazuki Odin had tears in his eyes. Bow down and apologize to those who are suffering. Don't say that, Lord Odin. It's better than anyone else that you can come back. Yes, Master Odin, your words will definitely lead us to a better future. I have always believed so firmly. Several gray-haired old men stepped forward tremblingly. Master Odin, do you still remember me? I am Matasaburo. Asking for flowers. A middle-aged man blushed and stepped forward excitedly. Advertisement. Master Odin, and me, I'm Lord Odin. The people in Jianlu town could no longer suppress their inner excitement and ecstasy, and immediately gathered beside Odin. For these old people who believed in him. Naturally, Odin would not have the slightest dislike, and responded enthusiastically, just like before. 18 years, Master Odin, is really back. Who can tell me that this is the truth, not a lie? Next to the big green cow, Zhu Tianwan opened and closed his mouth unconsciously. Looking at the Lord surrounded by people enthusiastically. Shudenmaru's fat face unconsciously raised a nostalgic smile. It seems to have returned to that period of time. But soon, he closed his eyes again in despair. Images of Odin's tragic death 18 years earlier came to mind. He knows it deeply. The Lord Kazuki Odin is dead. What appeared in front of him now was just a dream after all, and it would be broken at the touch of a touch. His Lord, Kazuki Odin has gone after all. Go to sleep now. Wake up. The dream is over. Everything is business as usual. Shudenmaru thought so. Slowly close your eyes. I don't know how long it has been. Footsteps and tall shadows fall. Shudenmaru opened his eyes in confusion. Looking at the still existing Kazuki Odin, extreme confusion and incomprehension appeared on his face. Shudenmaru, can you please trust me again? Advertisement Chapter 311 Roger's son. Odin's shock. Advertisement. Shudenmaru, I'm really sorry. With a foolish lord like me, you must be very distressed. Kazuki Odin came to the former retainer Shudenmaru. Odin, my lord. Shudenmaru opened his eyes in bewilderment. He looked blankly at the master in front of him. For a while. He couldn't tell the difference between reality and fantasy. As a human instinct told him. Lord Odin died 18 years ago. It is impossible to appear in front of him alive again. But everything he saw in front of him was so real. Is his Lord Kazuki Odin really coming back? Zhu Tianwan couldn't help but put a big question mark on his head. At this time, fool, snapped. The accompanying Yizang slapped the dazed Zhu Tianwan's head. Idiot Shudenmaru, why are you still in a daze? Now that Master Odin has returned, do you still want to give up on yourself like before? Haven't you woken up from your decadent dream? Yizang scolded in anger. Having experienced the shock of Summit War Roger's resurrection, he soon accepted Odin's resurrection setting. But for people like Zhu Tianmaru who live in a muddle, it is difficult to accept this reality for a while. Shudenmaru, can you please trust me again? Can you please join me in dispelling the darkness of Wano-kuni? This time, we will absolutely let this country be founded. Advertisement. Kazuki Odin extended his inviting hand to Shudenmaru. No, Master Odin, you don't need to say sorry to me. After realizing it, Zhu Tianmaru waved his hands in panic. I just want to say sorry to you. I'm really sorry, Master Odin. I failed your expectations, and went back to my old job and became a bandit. I feel ashamed. Snapped. Yizang slapped Zhu Tianwan on the back of the head again. His head couldn't help buzzing from the beating. Idiot Shudenmaru, just nod here and respond to Odin-sama's expectations, that's enough. Yizang reminded. Shudenmaru choked up and raised his trembling right hand. However, it quickly retracted before touching Odin's right hand. No, I not only abandoned the glory of being a red sheath warrior, but even resumed my business as a bandit. A scum like me is no longer qualified to be your retainer. At this moment, Zhu Tianwan finally couldn't help crying. It also represented him finally accepting the reality of Odin's resurrection. It doesn't matter whether you have the right to say it yourself, Zhu Tianmaru, you are my retainer. Kazuki Odin grins. His big hand popped out suddenly. Grab Shudenmaru's retracted right hand. Pull it up from the ground. Lord Odin, once again sanctioned by the adored Lord. Zhu Tianwan couldn't help but have infinitely complicated emotions in his heart. He couldn't utter a single word, just burst into tears. I'm sorry Zhu Tianwan, I was the one who said it too harshly. It's really hard for you to bear everything alone these years. Yizang apologized. But from now on, let us fight together. Advertisement. Zhu Tianwan choked up and responded. The enlightenment work of the vassal Shudenmaru has been successfully completed. Kazuki Odin turns. Next second, a blue line of fire spanned tens of meters. It hit him hard. The one that hit it staggered. Odin. Marco. Ha 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 ha. Whitebeard's captain of the 1st Division and the former captain of the 2nd Division hugged each other heavily. Odin, you're a real. Marco punched Odin's solid bear, his eyes reddened. Marco, I'm really sorry, and the dialogue with Bai Shaoji. Odin said apologetically. Before he could finish speaking, he was interrupted by Marco waving his hand. If you want to apologize, you should apologize to Dad in person. Anyway, Dad and the others will be coming soon, so I won't contact you in advance. The right is for Dad 2.8. Exclamation mark quote. Marco waved. Are you really Kazuki Odin? Ace stepped forward in a daze. It's me, are you? Kazuki Odin looked suspicious. Marco hugged Ace's shoulder carelessly, and introduced. Odin, he is Ace, the captain of the 2nd team after you. Fire Fist Ace, and don't be surprised when you hear that. Ace is not only the son of Dad, she's still Roger's biological daughter. Kazuki Odin, who hadn't read this part of the memory, couldn't help but widen his eyes in shock. Advertisement Chapter 312 Jack. The battle is settled. Advertisement. Are you Roger's son? Kazuki Odin's voice couldn't help raising an octave. It represents the shock in his heart. For Roger, like him, he was resurrected in this era. Kazuki Odin is clear. It's just that the young man in front of him, Ace, is Roger's biological son. Kazuki Odin has no way of knowing, so it is very shocking at the moment. Ha ha ha, let's count it. Ace nodded awkwardly. Ah ha ha ha, good. Great. Kazuki Odin patted Ace on the shoulder and said hello repeatedly. Master Odin, you must be hungry after a long journey, please use it. People in Jonlu village collected the scattered food and sent them to Odin and others. Everyone, you should eat these foods. Kazuki Odin waved his hand. No, Master Odin, people are like iron and rice is steel, you can only fight when you are full. Master Odin, please don't be polite. We are all useless people, completely useless in battle, at least for logistical work, please let us do our part. The villagers of Jonlu village spoke firmly. See. Odin didn't refuse again. Just pick up an apple symbolically. Everyone, you are all an indispensable part of Julie. After I take back the country, I need you to continue to build this country together, so everyone should take care of your health, please enjoy it now. Kazuki Odin spoke solemnly. Heard the words. Advertisement. The old people looked at each other in blank dismay, and finally nodded in unison. Then enjoy it together. Thanks to my little buddy, there is a lot of food today. Lord Odin. The joyful pre-war banquet begins. The bandits under Shutianmaru were not excluded either. After learning that Ju Tianmaru was once a red sheath samurai. Regardless of previous suspicions, the old people in Jonlu town offered food to Ju Tianwan and others. Such behavior made Ju Tianmaru and others feel ashamed more and more. After everyone is full, you must take back this country with Odin-sama. An old man asked. Everyone in the Tushan bandit group headed by Ju Tianmaru nodded with tears in their eyes. Only by risking their lives can they repay this kindness. Master Odin, Ashura boy Shudenmaru looked at the Lord Odin in front of him, opened his mouth, and stopped talking. Kazuki Odin nodded. Know what Shudenmaru wants to say. After all, he, a dead man, suddenly came back to life. If it is not known that there is a precedent of Roger. I'm afraid no one can calm down. It is natural for Judianwan to have this question. To this, Kazuki Odin said nothing. He just set his eyes on the big dog Koma Inu not far away for the first time. To be precise, it was the man in front of Koma Inu. Who is that person? Ju Tianmaru looked confused. Advertisement. That's a man of miracles. The reason why Master Odin was able to come back to life this time must be a miracle performed by that master. Shrink the mouth of admiration and excitement. Nani. Shudenmaru was taken aback. Miracle man. An existence that can even control the miracle of life and death. Isn't that God? Thinking of this, Ashura boy Shudenmaru and others couldn't help but be in awe. Immediately, he knelt down respectfully in Chiyu's direction. This moment, 9 Mile Coast. A large 3-masted sailing ship with the head of a mammoth on its prow docked. The 4 letters Jack are written on the huge sail, representing its identity. Beasts Pirates 3 Plagues, Jack the Drow. Master Jack. I just received a call from Beluo town. The intruders seem to have gathered in leak-picking village. As early as 407 disasters, Jack's reel hit Sip's head and others reported one after another. Jeel village. This time it happened to be wiped out at once. Jack the Drow spoke coldly. But Mr. Jack, according to the report, there seems to be some situation there. Should we go further and report to Mr. Kaido? Real King Rummy tentatively opened his mouth. Who do you think Lousy is? The tall Jack the Drow stared suddenly, his small eyes were bloodshot. The astonishing momentum scared all the subordinates back unconsciously. Lousy is Jack the Drow. This battle is settled. He, that's the way it should be. Fu Sifu, one of the flying 6 cells, sneered, Fire Fist Ace is my prey. Gagaga, it's just a few members of the Whitebeard pirates, and it's not Whitebeard who came personally, what's so scary? Advertisement Chapter 313 Yamato and Kazuki Odin. Advertisement. Well, seeing Kazuki Odin, the idol I admired since childhood, came. Yamato immediately hid behind Chiyu like a frightened little rabbit. If it was an ordinary Star Chaser fan, watching your idol appear in front of you, you must be so happy that you lose your mind. Meet idols for the first time. But Yamato did not, now seeing Odin come back from the resurrection. Yamato's emotions were always restrained. He stayed by Chi-Yu's side obediently all the time, and didn't lose anything. Even watching Odin come now, she couldn't help hiding behind Chi-Yu in a panic. In front of others, Yamato is free to call himself Kazuki Odin. But in front of the deity Odin, she, a counterfeit, couldn't help but wilt. Bottom line, Odin appeared too suddenly. For a while, Yamato wasn't ready to meet Odin yet. What's more, she is also Kaido's daughter. If Odin finds out, but Kazuki Odin is not here for her. From beginning to end, Odin's eyes only fell on Chi-Yu. For those who resurrect themselves, Kazuki Odin is naturally not unaware. Master Chi-Yu, same. Odin, the god, who revived himself, naturally gave him a respectful title. 7. While speaking, Kazuki Odin couldn't help but knelt down in front of Chi-Yu with his head touching the ground. This time I was able to return to the world, I really appreciate it. Kazuki Odin thanked Chi-Yu repeatedly. Next second. Advertisement. Pat. Yizang also prostrated himself on the ground. Immediately followed by Ashura Boiju Tenmaru, Tenguyama Hitaru, tea house owner Suru, Shoudama and all the villagers of Jonlu village present. If it is changed to before. For such things as the Lord bowing down to others, they must stop immediately. But this time it was different. All of them just imitate the Lord, worshipping and praying devoutly. Because the only one who can bring their dead master back to this world must be God. Kneeling down to God is a matter of course. Get up. Chi-Yu waved his hand casually. Signal Odin and others to get up. Chi-Yu doesn't have much interest in being the god of Wano-kuni or anything. He revived Odin simply because he happened to have this card in his hand. Odin, come here and get to know each other a little bit. Chi-Yu smiled slightly. He gestured to look at Yamato behind him. Yes, Lord Chi-Yu. Odin strode forward, eyes falling on Yamato. When he saw it, he realized that Yamato's clothes were somewhat similar to him. Master Chi-Yu, who is this? Odin looked puzzled. Kaido's daughter, Yamato, is also your big fan. Chi-Yu said casually. Nani? Odin was taken aback. But it's not because of Yamato's status as Kaido's daughter. My fans. Marco, Ace, Yizang and others. By the way, Odin, shouldn't you be concerned about Kaido's daughter? Marco groaned. Ahahaha, it seems to be don't care. Odin grinned broadly. For Yamato is the daughter of the enemy Kaido without the slightest care or mind. On the contrary, it was Ju Tianwan, who was eager to try. But there is something blocking it. Advertisement. He's not too out of line either. Yamato, your idol is here, aren't you going to say hello? Chi-Yu said with a smile. Mr. Chi-Yu really, you just know my jokes. Yamato pouted. Now that it's been said, she didn't hide anymore. Mr. Odin. Yamato took a deep breath and introduced himself. My next Yamato, I have been thinking of seeing you again since 18 years ago. Quote. Ahahaha, is that right? Miss Yamato, I'm also very happy to have fans like you. Kazuki Odin rubbed his chin with pleasure. Mr. Odin, here is your logbook, and it is now returned to its original owner. Yamato took out a well-preserved logbook from his arms and handed it back to Odin. Oh no, looking at the familiar log, Odin's eyes could not help but light up. I didn't expect this diary to be preserved intact. Yes, this is what I found in the burning Odin castle, it is my Bible. Yamato nodded awkwardly. Kazuki Odin flipped through it a few times with emotion on his face, and then handed the log back to Yamato. Yamato tilted his head in confusion. Qian Wangjiao as just a little gift for fans. Odin smiled. Really? Thanks, Mr. Odin. Yamato put away the logbook as if he had found a treasure. Speaking of which, Yamato, how on earth do you know me? Kazuki Odin asked. Reality. Yamato did not hide it, but even told Odin the whole story. Listening to his own death that year also touched the enemy's daughter. Odin couldn't help laughing and shaking his head for a while. Then I felt a little complacent in my heart. Just about to make some remarks. Cemetery. Kazuki Odin's heart skipped a beat. Standing up suddenly, his eyes fixed on the wasteland hundreds of meters away. Beasts Pirates, here comes the toilet. Advertisement chapter 314. Advertisement. Blah blah. Scores of chaotic footsteps came from far and near. Shake the earth BB. It's unabashed. Even ordinary villagers in Jonlu village can feel it. People who were still immersed in joy could not help but look up blankly. He looked in the direction of Beluo town. A flying dust dragon came straight towards Jonlu village. Kazuki Odin waved. Shutenmaru nodded knowingly. Immediately, together with his subordinates, he organized the villagers to go to a safe place. The evacuation of ordinary villagers is complete. The army of huge lizards and crocodile sharks from Beluo town finally arrived. Ha 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 ha, I found it. Finally let us find it. Food thieves, dare to rob our beasts pirates, you are already dead. Anyone who eats the food from the farm today will not be able to live. Even if you are Fire Fist Ace, captain of the Whitebeard Pirates' second squad, you are doomed today. 667 inches Master Jack, Phoenix Marco, Fire Fist Ace, and Yi Zhang found out, they are all here. And Ashura Doji Shutenmaru, the leader of the bandits at Tucson. Since everything is here today, let's solve it in one go. The pirates of the 100 Beasts group completed the encirclement of the entire village in an orderly manner, with high-spirited shouts constantly. It is impressive to regard everyone in Jianlu village as prey that can be plundered wantonly. The source of confidence that supports them is naturally Jack the Drow, one of the 3 disasters, and 2 powerful volleyers. Before they want to come, Mr. Jack personally dispatched. +2 6 sons and a legion of hundreds of people. Advertisement. The 3 captains of the mere Whitebeard pirates were easily captured without any suspense. Hey, hello, CJDI, haven't the fire embers of your beasts come? Marco turned into a phoenix man form, and took the lead to meet the encircled pirates. Knowing that I exist, I was only sent Jack the Drow, I was really underestimated. Marco shook his head helplessly. Gaga, Phoenix Marco. The duo who didn't even deserve a name smiled grimly and stood out from the crowd. Who are you? Marco didn't care. Don't you even know about me? Okay, let me tell you. My uncle is picking up leaks and inheriting as the 6th son set piece just wanted to introduce himself in an awesome way. Next second. Fire Fist Ace. Fu Sifu, the 6th son of the old brand who offered a reward of more than 500 million yuan, suddenly shouted angrily and stopped drinking. His ferocious gaze locked on Ace like the king of beasts. Feeling the undisguised killing intent from Phospho. Ace couldn't help but Monk Jong-er was puzzled. Although his memory is not good. But for Phosphord in front of him, Ace is convinced that the 2 parties had no previous friendship. However, it was obviously the first time we met. Phosphord showed such strong hostility towards him. It is really puzzling. From the 100 Beasts, did we know each other before? Ace asked tentatively. Advertisement. Do not know. Phosphord shook his head. XF. But, you are the big brother of that straw hat. Phosphord said. Straw hats. If you mean Luffy, yes. Ace nodded. That's right, anyone related to straw hats is unforgivable. Phosphord spoke coldly. Luffy's enemy. The expression on Ace's face became more and more confused. No, Luffy hasn't even been to New World, how could he have enemies? Ace shook his head again and again. What he didn't know was. Phosphord's hostility towards him all stems from Straw Hat Luffy's ability, the ability of Paramesha Rubber Fruit. That was 11 years ago. He was still in CP9. He was on a mission in East Blue to deliver the important Devil Fruit. But it was robbed by a group of pirates. Important goods, Rubber Fruit was looted by pirates. Phosphord, who failed in the mission, was also angered by the world government, which led to a series of misfortunes. But for the pirate group that robbed him back then, Phosphord did not dare to have the slightest revenge. Because it was the strongest pirate group in the sea that robbed him back then, the Red Hair pirates configured by the Double Emperor. In this way, Phosphord had no choice but to take the next best thing and vent his anger on the Straw Hat Luffy who ate the fruit. And then further anger to the people around Luffy in the Straw Hat, such as the big brother Ace who was here now. Take care of you first, then it's the Straw Hat's turn. Be aware. Advertisement Chapter 315 Fire Fist Asev Saber-Toothed Tiger Phosphord. Advertisement. Fire Fist Ace, wake up. The 6th son of the volley, Fu Sifu, took the lead in attacking. A blink of an eye. His figure suddenly disappeared from the spot. The reappearance is already in front of Ace. Armament Hockey's fingers entwined with pitch black pierced out blatantly. As a former CP9, he is as famous a genius as Rob Lucci. Phosphord is undoubtedly the Grandmaster full set of Marine 6 styles. The connection between the 6 style shaving and finger pistol is also smooth. If you change to an ordinary person, under Phosphord's sudden attack, this blow may be to drink hatred. Ends with the heart being impaled by the finger pistol. But Ace is Whitebeard's second team captain no matter what. Although the weapon color is not very good, observation hockey is more or less okay. Even though he was distracted before, he still wouldn't be caught by Phosphord's surprise attack. Raging. The whole body elementalization of Ace that captures the trajectory of Phosphord with observation hockey. Phosphord's armed finger pistol pierced through the flames. However, it did not penetrate Ace's real body. Hey, you really don't know why, but I know one thing, you want to trouble Luffy, right? Ace said coldly. That's right, Straw Hat Luffy, I won't let it go. Phosphord grinned. As Luffy's big brother, I can't pretend I didn't hear your words. Since that's the case, then I'll help Luffy solve your trouble here in advance. Ace smiled confidently. He made guns out of the fingers of both hands. Musket. Da. Ace's index fingers turned into machine guns. Countless flaming bullets shot towards Phosphord. Advertisement. Iron body. Phosphord did not dodge or evade. Take Ace's musket shot with the mighty iron body. Huh, is it the same move as Marine? Ace let out a surprise, seeing the clue of Phosphord's move. The work of amazement. Phosphord stepped on the 6 style shaving again, and disappeared from Ace's eyes. Reappear. His stature has undergone earth-shaking changes from before. Fu Sifu launched his own Devil Fruit ability, Zone Cat Fruit Ancient Saber-Toothed Tiger form. Under the power of the Saber-Toothed Tiger, whether it is strength or speed, Phosphord has risen to a higher level. Finger Pistol. Madara. He clicked out the finger pistol continuously, and launched a storm-like attack on Ace. Fireflies. Fire Dharma. Ace is also quick to respond. With a wave of his hand, countless tiny green fireflies were shot out, blocking Phosphord's offensive. Blade Gun. Phosphord swung his armed index finger violently. A blade-shaped air bullet sliced through the firefly, and slashed towards Ace. Yang Yan. Ace breathed flames from the palm of his right hand. Covered by the explosion of flames. His hands charged again. God Fire. Shiranui. 2 fiery lances spawned from Ace's hands. Fly to Fursford with the power to pierce everything. Iron Body. Tooth Flash. Fursford in saber-toothed tiger form still does not dodge or evade. Brutally resisting Ace's divine fire with Iron Body. However, he still underestimated the penetrating power of Shenhe. Asterisk. Advertisement. His ribs were easily pierced by Ace's flaming spear. The ensuing scorching burn deals secondary damage. Fursford screamed, but it didn't stop charging. He resisted the pain, and bit down on Ace's body. Pooh, blood splattered. Even people with Logia abilities are no longer invincible in front of armed forces. Ace's arm was left with a long and narrow wound by Fursford's teeth, and blood flowed profusely. Ace. 0. Yizhang's complexion changed slightly. I'm fine, let's hide. Besides, I have roughly figured out this guy's attack, and then it's time for me to counterattack. Ace smiled confidently. Ha 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 ha, the umami taste of One Piece's sun is really good. Next, let me taste some more. A bloodthirsty gleam flashed in Phosphord's eyes. A son of One Piece touched Ace's reverse scale. Fire punch. Ace is not probing. Ball-eye strikes. Horror fire fists raged. Phosphord subconsciously wants to resist with Iron Body. At the end, he quickly shaves and dodges with the 6 moves. Watch the earth torn apart by Ace's fiery fists. Fu Sifu's back unconsciously broke out in cold sweat. Intuition told him that if he really blocked that punch earlier, he would be finished. This is also natural. After all, no matter how you say it, Ace is a strong player who will fight Jinbei for 3 days and 3 nights. By contrast, under Jinbei's command, Fu Sifu couldn't even last 10 minutes. The outcome of this battle was already doomed from the very beginning. Long. Advertisement Chapter 316. The Shock and Fright of Iron King Jack. Advertisement. Fire Punch. Pillar of Flame. Mirror Flame. As the battle continued, Ace's condition gradually improved. Logia Mera Mera Fruit's ability is fully activated. While completely suppressing the saber-toothed tiger Fu Sifu. The large-scale flame attack also tore apart the encircling net of all beasts. Mouth. Looking at Phosphord, who was tightly suppressed by Ace. The 6 sons, who didn't even deserve a name, smiled sinisterly. It's really useless. I can't even win the second team. If I win the first team's Marco, then I will be the leader of the 6. Even if 897 becomes a big sign at that time, replacing Quinn as a new disaster is just around the corner. The 6th son who doesn't even deserve a name thought happily. While thinking, his body also underwent drastic changes. Not long, a ferocious Madara hyena appears. That's exactly what he's capable of, Zone Dog Fruit Madara hyena form. The 6 Madara hyenas are like cunning hunters. Swim around below Marco, waiting for an opportunity. To this, Marco naturally wouldn't be unaware. It's just that I just glanced at it and ignored it. See, the 6 Madara hyena sons are getting more and more insatiable. The ability of the phoenix is nothing more than a bird with stronger vitality. I can win as long as I work hard. The 6 sons of Madara hyena gave birth to one of the 3 delusions in life. Finally, he no longer roams and observes. Between slightly bent knees. Advertisement. The stature suddenly ejected. He rushed towards Marco who was in midair. Raging. The flames of the blue phoenix are intense. A phoenix claw magnified in the pupil of the Madara hyena. Immediately. Phoenix seal. Boom. Marco puts his paw on the Madara hyena's head. Rumble. Its figure fell like a cannonball. A huge pothole was smashed in the wasteland. One hit. Instant kill. Ouch. A mouthful of blood mixed with viscera gushed out from the mouth of the 6 Madara hyena sons. This is the captain of the 1st division of the Whitebeard pirates. It's good, it's just that the vitality, is it strong? This was the last thought that crossed the mind of Madara's 6 hyena sons before they died. How come? That's one of the flying 6 cells. Why is it so powerful? Whitebeard pirates 1st team captain, Phoenix Marco. Sure enough, only Lord Jack can fight against it. Look at Master Phosphord on the other side. Master Phosphord is about to lose his hold. What should I do? Master Jack. The pirates of the 100 Beasts screamed in horror and looked at Jack the Drow anxiously. However, from beginning to end, Jack the Drow's eyes never fell on Marco or Ace and others. The moment he came to Jonlu Town. Advertisement. His pupils shrunk down to the point of needles were attracted by the 3 people in front of the large Koma Inu. What emanated from that place was the aura of a real strong man. Jack the Drow didn't know the identity of the man with his back turned. But for the other 2, he couldn't be more clear. One is Yamato, the rebel of their beasts. The other is the scariest man in the sea, Shi Yu, the arrogant emperor and 5 emperors. Master Jack, what happened to you? Sipshead, Kim Rummy and others really asked anxiously. Follow Jack's gaze. Finally, they also saw the people beside Koma Inu not far away. Immediately, every face is full of horror and fear. It seems to have seen the most incredible and terrifying things in the world. This sudden change made everyone in the audience dumbfounded. Some people even fainted from fright on the spot. Big, Master Yamato. Why is Master Yamato here? No, it's not Master Yamato who should be paying attention now. That man is 5 Emperor Chi Yu. One of the double walls of the red hair pirates, the king of the sea. The emperor of the sea, the strongest man in the world, arrogance 25.7. Why is Chi Yu here? In the wilderness, the noise is everywhere. The pirates of 100 Beasts screamed in terror as if they were going crazy. The residents of Jianlu Town don't know who Chi Yu is. I don't even know what kind of weight this name represents. But that didn't stop them from feeling the fear of the Beast's pirates. Even Jack the Drow, the terrifying and boundless Beast signboard, is no exception. Then, they became more and more convinced. That is the fact of God. Advertisement Chapter 317 Nana. That man is Kazuki Odin. Advertisement. 9 miles, wasteland. Pirates of the 100 Beasts are approaching aggressively. Now, the moment he saw Chi Yu, everyone frightened into quails. Extreme panic and fear are spreading. More than this. The timid pirate was so frightened that he passed out on the spot. All because the existence that suddenly appeared in front of them was too amazing. Well before coming, the 3 captains of the Whitebeard pirates agreed. The result is in place. One look. Impressive. Even the emperor of the sea, the strongest in the world, was present. This is a fart. In front of the strongest man in this sea. 29 They dare not even flee. It's not just an ordinary beast little pirate. Even Jack the Drow is no exception. Before coming, he is the Iron King who is not afraid of heaven and earth. But now, even Jack couldn't help being terrified. The eve of the summit war. Chi Yu and the red-haired duo came to Wano-kuni hand in hand. At that time, Jack once leaned against a boat ignorantly. The result was that the ship crashed and the people died. Even the carefully cared for ivory was forcibly picked up by Chi Yu. It hasn't grown back yet. The heartache of losing the ivory. Jack still remembers it vividly. So this time, after seeing Chi Yu again. Advertisement. Jack finally could no longer be as stubborn as usual. The moment he saw Chi Yu, his body was instinctively frightened and sluggish, unable to move. I don't know how long the silence lasted. On the fur seat Koma Inu. Chi Yu clapped his hands. Then all the beasts including Jack shuddered, almost collapsing to the ground in fright. You're that mammoth Jack, aren't you, Ivory? Did it grow back? Chi Yu smiled and said. Hear the word ivory. Jack the Drow felt infinite horror in his heart. Couldn't help but shook his head in denial. Damn it. This guy is serious. It's not enough to squeeze once. I still want to do it again. Jack's heart fluctuated violently. Forget it if you don't have one. Don't be afraid, we'll talk about it next time it grows. Chi Yu waved his hand casually. Hoo. Jack the Drow was frightened and startled, taking deep breaths continuously. Snapped. Jack slapped himself. Arrogance of the red hair pirates, why are you here? Last time, you red hair pirates made an agreement with our beasts pirates. Jack summoned up his courage and spoke. Promise, I didn't see you keep it. Chi Yu said lightly. But don't be afraid, I don't need to make a move this time, I'm just here to watch the fun. Didn't you want to go to the Ghost Island not long ago? Watch the fun. Jack was stunned for a moment, then elated. As long as you don't face Chi Yu directly. Advertisement. That's the best thing ever. At this time, allow me to thank you again. The tall figure with his back turned to Jack finally spoke. The voice fell. He prostrated himself deeply to Chi Yu in front of him. Immediately afterwards, Odin finally stood up, turned to the Beast Legion headed by Jack. Powerful like a tide. Shocked the quartet. Damn it, who is that? A little sweat broke out on Jack's forehead. Intuition told him. The man dressed similarly to Yamato is also a formidable powerhouse. But he has never seen it. Next second, things that shocked Jack even more happened. I saw Yizeng and the rebellious Judianwan standing behind the man calmly. 670 behaved like a follower. B******************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************** loudly. Without waiting for Odin to answer. Master Jack. In the Legion of Beasts, an old member who participated in the war 18 years ago suddenly screamed. What's wrong? Jack was puzzled. Master Jack, that person, that man. No, no, no. Impossible. How is it possible? This kind of thing is absolutely impossible. How could that man be alive? I don't believe it. He obviously died 18 years ago. More and more elders of the 100 Beasts recognized Odin's identity. So, who the hell is that man? The veins on Jack's forehead were throbbing wildly. Then, that man is Kazuki Odin. Advertisement Chapter 318 Destroy Jack the Drow. Recover 9 miles. Advertisement. Nana, that man is Kazuki Odin. The terrified screams of the old members of the 100 Beasts echoed under the sky, and lasted for a long time. After a moment of dead silence, what followed was an uproar. Nani. Jack the Drow's voice was raised 18 degrees. Kazuki Odin, looking at the tall man with a flat top not far away. Look at Yamato again. Jack the Drow felt his head booming. Thinking through the mind, he finally understood why this man looked so familiar. Because that's the man Yamato has been imitating. He also finally knew why he didn't know that there were strong people in this world that he didn't know. Because the man named Kazuki Odin died 18 years ago. 18 years ago, he was just an 8-year-old kid playing in the mud. Far from joining the Beast's pirates. Naturally, I don't know what Kazuki Odin looks like. But now, after hearing the name from the subordinates, He immediately identified Odin's identity. Kazuki Odin. Kazuki Odin, why did you come back to life? Jack the Drow couldn't help screaming. Undead. The undead is back. Advertisement. It's not good. It's really not good now. The undead of Kazuki Odin is back. He's taking revenge on us. The terrified screams of the pirates of the 100 Beasts came one after another, one after another. Suddenly, Jack the Drow had a flash of inspiration. He thought of Roger, the One Piece who was revived in Summit War. Since One Piece Roger can reappear in this world, then it is not impossible for Kazuki Odin to return. As for the man who brought Odin back from hell, there is no doubt. He finally understands now. Why would Chi Yu say that he came to see the fun this time? Because he sent the most difficult enemy for them. It's been 18 years. What a long time. Kazuki Odin spoke faintly. The suffering suffered by the country, the unwillingness and tears of the people, all must be repaid with your blood. Ashura boy Shudenmaru blushed and roared angrily. Wake up, beasts pirates. Yizang raised his 2 guns. Boom. Kazuki's first counterattack shot fired. It was only a few minutes before and after. The hundreds of beast pirates headed by Jack the Drow were wiped out. Even Jack, a mammoth with a strong physical body, can't stop Odin's revenge knife. Not to mention everyone else. Under the powerful strength of Marco, Ace, Yizang and Ashura boy. The 100 Beasts Legion collapsed at the first touch. Advertisement. After asking Chi Yu for instructions, Kazuki Odin and his party of 5 went straight to Boro Town. After an hour, the suppression of Julibaluo Town has been completed. The Beasts Pirates and the Kurozumi Orochi arrange minions here. All of them were pulled out and cleaned up by Kazuki Odin, Shudenmaru and others. When witnessing the return of the former Lord Kazuki Odin. In the whole Baluo town, those people who were still facing Kazuki are all shocked and ebullient. The crowd was excited and high-pitched. As for the traders who were completely bought by Kurozumi Orochi, they panicked. I want to report through the smart snail, but it still doesn't work. Because it was the first time to occupy Baluo town. Marco and the others controlled the boss snail and completely blocked the reliability of the entire Baluo town. But there is still a small piece of information leaked out. By Li Jiao. This moment, Island of Ghosts. The grand banquet to welcome the Big Mom Pirates is in progress. With the arrival of the Kurozumi Orochi, the atmosphere intensifies. The whole Island of Ghosts is singing and dancing, very lively. Plague Quinn, who loves to play tricks, kept twisting on the stage on the 2nd floor. Only the steady second in command, Yan Calamity, is in charge of controlling the overall situation. On the one hand, we must guard against the small actions of the Big Mom Pirates. On the other side, we should pay attention to the 9 Miles and Jack who is out. Master Jin, something is going wrong. G. Advertisement Chapter 319 Odin Resurrected. Frightened Kurozumi Orochi. Advertisement. Master Jin, something is wrong. Suddenly, a beast pirate came yelling in a panic. Have you not contacted yet? Over there with Jack. Yan Calamity frowned dissatisfied. It's not just Mr. Jack, even the whole Baluo town is out of contact now. Mr. Jin, there seems to be a terrible change in Baluo town. The beast liaison officer said in panic. Heard the words. The brows and eyes under the mask of Yan Calamity Ember furrowed more and more. The ominous premonition in my heart is getting heavier. Just when he was about to go to Julie to find out. Master Orochi, Siri, a warrior came running in a panic. What happened to Julie? Yan Calamity Jin raised his big hand, and lifted the warrior 620. Master Jin, just now, the capital of Flowers has received some fragmented news that Julie Baluo town has been occupied. The suspected undead Kazuki Odin has appeared. The warrior yelled in horror. What did you say? Kazuki Odin. The eyes under the flaming ember mask suddenly opened wide. Island of Ghosts. Tour Maid Street. Advertisement. Not long ago, because I couldn't stand the powerful momentum of Kaido and Big Mom, Shogun Kurozumi Orochi came to play at Yunbibo Inn instead. However, his good mood didn't last long. This moment. Yunbi Tangchi. In the almost boiling soup pool, a black pig-like figure couldn't stop trembling. He is Kurozumi Orochi, Wanokuni's current general. It's cold. It's cold. Hurry up and keep burning the fire. Even though he was in the scalding hot water, even though his body was already flushed red from the hot water, Kurozumi Orochi kept screaming cold. His body couldn't stop shivering. It was the fearful chill emanating from his body. Master Orochi, we can't continue, the water temperature has already exceeded 70 degrees. The servants shouted in horror. Shut up. Kurozumi screamed sharply, and then a bewildered expression appeared on his face. Impossible. Absolutely impossible. Why? Why is Kazuki Odin really resurrected? This is unreasonable. This time he will die, really die. It's so cold. Why is it so cold? The water temperature is not enough. Hurry up and add fire to the general. Kurozumi Orochi screamed hoarsely. Master Orochi. CJCI Orochi Imperial Court Captain Fu Lusho shouted loudly, and Kurozumi Orochi regained his senses from the panic. Fu Lusho. Tell me quickly, it's not true. Kazuki Odin died 18 years ago, how could he still be alive? You're right. Advertisement. Kurozumi Orochi opened his mouth expectantly. Regarding this matter, the people under my command are still investigating, please forgive me for not being able to guarantee it. Fu Lusho said in a deep voice. What did you say? Kurozumi Orochi was furious. But, Fu Lu Shou changed the topic. So what if Kazuki Oden is really resurrected? Why is Orochi-sama so scared? Fu Lu Shou asked back. Why are you afraid? Because it's Kazuki Oden. Kurozumi's face was full of terror. So what if it's Oden? Now on this ghost island, the two strongest forces in the world have formed an alliance, and our backing has another big mom besides the beasts. Fu Lu Shou rode. The fear on Kurozumi Orochi's face diminished slightly. Go on. Except for this point, 18 years have passed now. Wano-kuni is your Wano-kuni, Lord Orochi, so what if Kazuki Oden is resurrected? The samurai who were willing to follow him back then have long since died, wounded, they have turned over. Don't worry about the storm. Fu Lu Shou spoke firmly. Kurozumi Orochi suddenly smiled. Yes, you are right, Fu Lu Shou. Kazuki Oden, if he does come back, let him die again. I have tried and tested strategies against that idiot Oden. Advertisement Chapter 320 Blitz. Goal Rabbit Dawn. Advertisement. Under the lightning attack of Kazuki Oden, the Emperor-level powerhouse. Baluo Town, dominated by beasts, changed hands. Under the call of the Lord Oden. Baluo Town is united. 9-mile restoration completed. After handing over the resettlement work of the people of Jonlu village to a trustworthy samurai, Kazuki Oden and his party started their intensive planning again. Now, timing is everything. Before the beasts pirates and Kurozumi Orochi knew Kazuki Oden was resurrected before. They can act as much as they want, and catch all beasts by surprise. Temporary Combat Conference Room. Rabbit Dawn. Next target, I propose Rabbit Dawn. Shudenmaru pointed at a corner of the map, and opened his mouth firmly. Why Rabbit Dawnbury? To hide puzzled. Before the big snake finds us, and before the big snake is ready, we will go to the capital of flowers in one go and take off the big snake's head. This is the best way to come. Yizang suggested murderously. Judamaru, you must have your reasons for specifically proposing Rabbit Dawnbury, please tell me. Kazuki Oden rode. Yes, Oden Celestial. Shudenmaru nodded. Utoden has been the hometown of minerals since ancient times, and now it is the location of the weapon factory of the beast bastards. You should be able to imagine the ore mining personnel needed to make weapons. Ju Tianwan gritted his teeth tightly, his expression extremely gloomy. Judenmaru, what do you mean? Thousands of our compatriots are suffering at the major ore mining sites in Usagi right now, oppressed by the beast's pirates, working day and night, and must be rescued. Advertisement. Shudenmaru said firmly. Yes, and everyone who is rescued can also become our combat power. Tiangashan Fike nodded in agreement. Father and the others haven't arrived yet, so it would be good to have some more manpower. Marco nodded in agreement. Okay. Oden nodded solemnly. Then it's decided. The next step is to liberate Muden. Kazuki Oden nodded and made a decision. Just do it. It was 2:15 in the afternoon. Kazuki Oden and his party, who took down Baluo Town and regained Julie, set off immediately and headed for Rabbit Dawn. The other side, Chi Yu, who didn't intend to get involved, went straight to the capital of flowers to make an appointment. This was the purpose of Chi Yu's trip. Although there was a delay in the middle, it was not too late. 3 hours later, the sun was setting. Wano-kuni Free Donburi. Prisoner Quarry. This is the most important iron ore resource point in Wano-kuni. It is also a real hell on earth. Prisoners in handcuffs and ankle chains carry huge iron ore day after day in exchange for meager food every day. A boulder weighing several hundred kilograms was exchanged for only a small glutinous rice dumpling. This shows how insane the beast's pirates are for the exploitation of labor. Not just the exploitation of labor. Advertisement. *TT. Prisoners in the quarry. He also has to endure all kinds of atrocities committed by the brutal jailers of the 100 Beasts. In this blood-stained mine, cruelty happens every day. Today is no exception. In front of the deputy warden Hippo man-made fruit-capable person. Several emaciated prisoners fell to the ground tremblingly. He looked at the hippopotamus in front of him with horror on his face. Lord Dopeng, I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. I really didn't mean it. A short, thin old man who was as thin as a bamboo pole was as humble as an ant, knelt down on the ground, and apologized repeatedly, just to beg for a little mercy from the pirates of the 100 Beasts. However, what ushered in was only the merciless ridicule of the pirates. Let's get started. I cannot wait anymore. Master Dopeng's execution space. This is the best show ever. This little old man, I'm afraid he won't be able to hold on for even a second. Come, open the market, bet on how long this old man can last. I bet 50 cents, 3 seconds can't be more. The pirates of the 100 Beasts yelled and booed one after another. I can't wait to see the picture of the prisoners' blood splattered on the spot. This is their favorite sideshow. Prisoners are not punished for making mistakes. Just because you want to have fun with it. Have fun with the desperation, screams, and blood of your prisoners. Advertisement.